Welcome, Battling Bear fans, to another edition of Frontier Conference Football as Rocky welcomes the number one team in the national polls, the Southern Oregon Raiders. Rocky comes off a disappointing loss at Montana Western in an extremely controversial ending on the final play and are now at 2-5 on the season in conference. Southern Oregon's coming off a home game against College of Idaho where they forced 4 turnovers and won easily 63-21 en route to a 6-1 conference record. Rocky has played Southern Oregon very tough over the past few seasons and has a chance to knock the defending national champions off the top of podium here today. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll dive into Rocky and Southern Oregon right here on FM 99 The Mountain, KVRM, Rocky's own radio station, 104.5, and the site for all things Montana sports, mtsportscast.com. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
My name's Charlie, and I've been rodeoing for about 12 years. You learn to love it, and you grow up with it all the time, and you have to get hooked on a rodeo by somebody, and that's your family. When I lost my granddad, it was pretty rough. Everybody loved him so much, and if he didn't smoke, he'd probably still be here. Athletes try to stay in the best of shape as they can, and smoking's not going to get you there.
So I decided to stand up and help the Montana rodeo that I love break away from tobacco.
My name is Carson. Rodeo has become a very big part in my life. To win a rodeo, you got to be really dedicated, so I have to stay in shape. I really like when you're getting done with a run because sometimes you have the highs and your lows in rodeo, but when you do good, it's really a great feeling. Tobacco, in my opinion, doesn't belong in rodeo. I mean, you can look at all the statistics and it's just been a damaging, destructive product. Tobacco doesn't take center stage, not in my rodeo.
Our physicians and athletic trainers have been building better athletes for over 20 years. We are the official sports medicine provider to the Billings Mustangs, MSUB Yellow Jackets, and Rocky Mountain College Battling Bears. AMP ensures that athletes of all ages and skill levels receive the training and medical care for top performance and to stay healthy. AMP, Athletic Medicine and Performance, powered by St. Vincent Healthcare, Ortho Montana, and Yellowstone Surgery Center.
As a driven business owner, you want to pursue your dream, not worry about administrative chores, employee benefits, and HR. With Avitas Group, you don't have to. We'll provide the solutions you need. Everything from payroll and taxes to online marketing and IT. For each and every operational need, Avitas Group has an entire team of diverse, specialized professionals. Follow your dream. Leave the logistics to us.
And welcome back to our pregame show here at Rocky Mountain College as we're getting set for Southern Oregon, the number one team in the nation and the defending national champions, here at Herb Klint Field to take on your Rocky Mountain College Battling Bears. I'm pleased to be joined in the booth with Jesse Brockschmidt on the color here today. And Jesse, it was a tough loss last week for Rocky Mountain College over at Western, 27-26.
Absolutely controversial ending, kind of like you said, and it was a heartbreaking loss. Something that that can kind of end your season if you're not mentally tough enough. But we've seen this team come back from a tough loss before. You were there in Carroll when they lost on a Hail Mary, and then they came back and won in overtime on the road. So this is a mentally tough team.
Well, let's go through the recap of that football game. Bradley Smith, the true freshman quarterback for Montana Western, drove them down and scored the touchdown with 1:43 to play in the ball game to make it 27-20 Bulldogs. And Rocky actually jumped off sides on the PAT attempt, so that moved the ball up to the 1-yard line. And head coach B.J. Robertson of Montana Western elected to go for 2 and try to get up by 9. They did that and actually fumbled the snap, so they never got the play off. So Rocky had life. 1:43 to go, one timeout. The kickoff was a touchback, so they started at their own 25. And Chase White takes them all the way down to the field, gets them to the 1-yard line with 4 seconds left, where he threw an incomplete pass to Andre, and then there's just 0.6 of a second left. This is how the last play of regulation went down.
Hey, what a finish. White in the gun. Gonna throw. Fires. Andre catches it. Is he in? Touchdown, Bears!
So Rocky scored on the last play and elected to go for 2 in the win on the road. They had momentum and a very controversial ending in this one on the 2-point conversion, and this is how it went down.
Quarterback draw. White. Touchdown Bears. No, they didn't give it to him. They say he's short. Holy cow, he's laying halfway into the end zone. His waist is on the goal line. His knee must have touched. And the Bulldogs have rushed the field. I don't believe it.
And that's how it ended. It was very controversial. We've seen a couple of video replays. Looked like it was clearly in. Andre McCulloch, the receiver on the left side, had a clear view of it. And Andre's one to call a spade, and he said by far he was in. Chase White even believes he was in by quite a ways in the post-game interviews. And Bob Ritterott said he actually saw the game film, and looks like he was, no question, an in for a 2-point conversion. But the official said no, and that's how the game ended, 27-26, and another close loss for this Rocky Mountain College Battling Bear team. That is 3 this year. So, Jesse, if you look at it, the Carroll College Hail Mary with 7 seconds to go when Rocky was winning, that was a deadly loss. Tech here, they should have beat them. They actually scored a touchdown to get within 5, and then you remember they almost blocked the punt just inches away back at the 5-yard line. Had they blocked that, you probably score there and win the football game there against the number 1 team in the Frontier Conference, and then that game in Western last week.
And Tom, you talk about those 3 games, and really in those 3 games, there are just 3 plays. If it's just one play in each one of those games that goes Rocky's way, it's a completely different season. And so regardless of Rocky's record right now, and regardless of how those losses have come, this is a very talented football team. Taking on the number 1 team in the NAIA right now. And it's going to be a fantastic game. Both talented crews. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you look at the standings right now, Jesse, and it's a head-scratcher because you look at the standings, Rockies second to the bottom. Only winless MSU Northern is below them. Rockies at 2-5, and I look at every single team above them other than Southern Oregon. I haven't seen them play yet, but I've seen everybody else play. Rockies actually as good and as talented as any team in this Frontier Conference. It's just, I guess, a little bad luck here and there. Turnovers and penalties have been big for them this year as well.
Yeah, and it's nothing like they haven't kind of helped themselves get to where they are so far this year. Absolutely. Other than maybe the top 2, they're just as talented as any other team in this conference for sure, and they could easily be sitting second or third place right now if those things go the right way. But like you said, there's some little things, there's some penalties, there's a couple turnovers, but I mean overall, it's a very talented football team.
Yeah, and probably the most talented of them all was Andre McCulloch. He's in his senior season. By the way, folks, if you can't make it to watch him, never seen him before, next week they host Carroll on Senior Day, and I can't tell you any player I've ever seen where I would say you need to come out and watch this young man play because he is truly, truly special.
Absolutely. The number 1 receiver in the conference right now. Last week you were talking, he scored that touchdown. He caught the touchdown that brought him within 1, excuse me. And he had 10 receptions, 172 yards, and 2 total touchdowns yesterday. It's White's favorite target, as well it should be. And he catches everything that's thrown to him, even though he sees double coverage pretty much all day.
Well, they had a 1-play 55-yard drive. It was a back shoulder fade that Chase White threw to Andre. He adjusted, made the catch, and he's so strong, he stiff-armed the corner off him to the ground and took it into the distance. And you know, he's got strength, he's got speed, he can catch the football, he's got good football smarts, and he's a very, very bright young man and a good young man. I've enjoyed covering him over the last 4 years. All right, let's other stats there, Jesse, from last week, and we'll put that Montana Western game to bed.
Yeah, Chase White had a pretty good game, 41 attempts, he completed 27 of them. For 287 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cody Varner was the top rusher with only 5 attempts. He had 76 yards and a touchdown as well. As far as third down conversions, which was pretty big, Rocky only 5 of 16, but even better defensively, as Montana Western was only 1 of 12 on third down conversions. So
the defense played awesome on third and fourth down. You're absolutely right.
That's pretty impressive for this defense, and that's something for them to build on, because they're going to be tested today, and something that you talked about is the conversion rate for Southern Oregon.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit here. We're going to take another 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll kind of dive into Southern Oregon a little bit and take a look at their season here on FM 99 The Mountain, MTSportscast.com, and KVRM 104.5 here at Rocky. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
See what the newly renovated Billings Hotel and Convention Center can do for you. With its state-of-the-art sound system, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center is the best place in Billings to host your next meeting or conference. Ease your cares from traveling in the newly renovated rooms, or relax in the hot tub while the kids enjoy both of the indoor water slides. And if you want to really enjoy the big game, experience the renovated Sports Lounge, complete with giant flat screens for your viewing pleasure. Locally owned and operated, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center is your best bet on your next stay in Billings.
For signs big or small, from banners to illuminated, Sign Pro has been your leader in signs since 1990. Sure, you know we provide high-quality displays, magnets, decals, vehicle graphics, certified installers, and more. But have you heard about our new cutting-edge techniques at Sign Pro? UV flatbed technology produces full-color brilliance that no one in the region can match, printing directly to almost any sign surface. The results are faster, higher quality, and much more cost-effective.
Sign up with Sign Pro.
A home is more than just a building. It's a refuge from the outside world, a place where families can feel safe and secure. At Stockman Bank, we enjoy helping Montanans build and own their own homes. And we treat borrowers like friends and neighbors, because they are. Treating people with respect, care, and a personal touch is the Montana way. It's the only way we know. Stockman Bank. Montana banking, pure and simple.
Upgrade. It means your day just got better. That's the idea behind First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. With every purchase, you earn points you can use to upgrade just about any aspect of your life. Even better, rewards come from your world, your neighbors, your favorite local businesses. It's the difference between dining out and dining out in style, your style. First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. Your style, your reward.
Field, Tom Kurtz, Jesse Brockschmidt bringing you today's football game against the number 1 ranked team in the nation and the defending champions, Southern Oregon University, at 6-1 in conference. They're number 1 in the polls, defending national champs. Their only loss was the first game of the year at Carroll College, 26-20. Since then, they've reeled off 6 straight. Last year, Rocky actually traveled to Ashland, Oregon, the 1,100-mile trip.
Yeah,
that's straight. If there was a road that went straight
as
to
the
Ashland,
crow flies.
Oh boy, 1,100 miles. So it was like a 24-hour bus ride or something crazy like that. Southern Oregon actually flew here today, but it's still like a 4-hour flight. I looked it up on Google Flights, and 4-hour flight. So it actually took less time for Rocky to get on the bus and go to Dillon last week than it took for them to fly from Ashland, Oregon to Billings, Montana. Well, last year's score was 45-28. Southern Oregon won that one en route to their national championship. Last time they were in Billings, though, Jesse, I called this game, and it was a spectacular day for Bryce Baker. The quarterback last year was his senior year. He's now the quarterback's coach here at Rocky. But he had over 300 yards passing in the first half. Ended up with about 510 passing yards in that game. Rocky won that one 52-30 the last time Southern Oregon came to Billings, and that was in 2012. So taking a look at season leaders for Southern Oregon University, their quarterback that's been leading them this year is Tanner Trozen. Last week against College of Idaho, he was 15-20 for 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He's a very big-time threat to run the football as well. I believe he led them in rushing in that football game last week as well. Do you have that there, Jesse?
He did. He had 83 yards on 11 carries, including a touchdown as well. So
he's multi-dimensional, which is way different than what Austin Dodge the great quarterback, probably the best quarterback the NAIA has ever seen. I think he actually was on the Saints for quite a while in the NFL. Anyway, they used to just throw the ball all over the park, and now their run game is just dominating people right now. Yep. Their leading runners, besides Trozen at the quarterback position, Sean Tao, he had 6 carries, 37 yards, and a score last week in the victory. And he's one to keep an eye on here today. They have a stable of tailbacks that they'll go to. Melvin Mason's another one that gets a lot of touches for Southern Oregon. So the run game is definitely something Rocky's got to take care of today.
Yeah, they'll keep their backs fresh. You'll see multiple guys in there during a series even, and he does a good job. Trozen does a good job of spreading out his passes as well. So it's hard to key in on 1 or 2 guys, because he spreads the ball very well.
Yeah, they're one of the leading receivers, Taran Togia, 5 catches, 105 yards, and 3 touchdowns in that game against College of Idaho last week. So he's one to keep an eye on as well, and he's not even listed as one of their starters. So they have a very good stable of wide receivers. In fact, you'd think in a run game they would kind of pack you tight. They do the opposite. They'll go 4 wide receiver sets, spread you out, and then gash you with the run game. Adonis Griffin, one of their best receivers, had 3 catches for 35 yards last week. And Dominic Giampoli, 3 catches, 28 yards. So, we got a bunch of wide receivers. We're going to be calling their names here today. And a very, very balanced attack for head coach Craig Howard's Southern Oregon squad. Let's take a look at a couple other things with Southern Oregon. In that game against College of Idaho last week, the defense played very, very well. They ended up creating 4 turnovers in that football game and converted them all into touchdowns and had 0 turnovers. They did throw an interception late. But really the 4 turnovers leading to 4 touchdowns for Southern Oregon. I think they raced out to a 21-0 lead against College of Idaho while people were still finding their seats.
Yeah, and like you said, this is a very explosive team. They've got athletes everywhere on the field, and when you have a team like this that can spread you out and gash you either up the middle, you get large chunks of yardage, and if you can do that and take care of the ball at the same time, that means you're going to score a lot of points, which they did last week, 63. And then they lead, I believe they lead the league in yardage as well. It's somewhere around 534, 532 yards a game. So very impressive offense for Southern Oregon.
Yeah, and we're going to go through the keys of the game, but one of them is a first down and second down defense for Rocky. Got to keep Southern Oregon out of these 3rd and shorts because they just convert them all the time. Julius Rucker, the defensive back, he's a safety out of Portland, Oregon. He's a junior. Actually, he is the Frontier Conference Defensive Player of the Week for Southern Oregon. He had 8 tackles, 1 tackle for loss last week, and I believe he ended up recovering one of the fumbles and picked it up and ran it back for 94 yards. So very athletic in the secondary as well. I think I read the Gazette article this morning, and they're very tall, very long, athletic players on both sides of the ball. Just a hotbed for recruiting in that Oregon area. They're only like what are they? They're 180 miles south of Eugene, Oregon, so just below University of Oregon. Actually have a couple of players that started their career with the Oregon Ducks, just down on Interstate 5 there. So a hotbed of recruiting and great coaching and playing good football right now. So Rocky's got a tough chore ahead of him here this afternoon. All right, we're going to take another 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at the starters of this football game between your Battling Bears of Rocky Mountain College and the defending national champs Southern Oregon Raiders, right here on FM 99, The Mountain, KVRM, and MontanaSportscast.com. Back in 2 minutes.
And I've been rodeoing for about 12 years. You learn to love it and you grow up with it all the time, and you have to get hooked on a rodeo by somebody, and that's your family. When I lost my granddad, it was pretty rough. Everybody loved him so much, and if he didn't smoke, he'd probably still be here. Athletes try to stay in the best of shape as they can, and smoking's not going to get you there.
So I decided to stand up and help the Montana rodeo that I love break away from tobacco.
My name is Carson. Rodeo has become a very big part in my life. To win a rodeo, you've got to be really dedicated, so I have to stay in shape, really like when you're getting done with a run, because sometimes you have the highs and your lows in rodeo, but when you do good, it's really a great feeling. Tobacco, in my opinion, doesn't belong in rodeo. I mean, you can look at all the statistics, and it's just been a damaging, destructive product. Tobacco doesn't take center stage, not in my rodeo.
Our physicians and athletic trainers have been building better athletes for over 20 years. We are the official sports medicine provider to the Billings Mustangs, MSUB Yellow Jackets, and Rocky Mountain College Battle Bears. AMP ensures that athletes of all ages and skill levels receive the training and medical care for top performance and to stay healthy. AMP, Athletic Medicine and Performance, powered by St. Vincent Healthcare, Ortho Montana, and Yellowstone Surgery Center.
As a driven business owner, you want to pursue your dream, not worry about administrative chores, employee benefits, and HR. With the Vitas Group, you don't have to. We'll provide the solutions you need. Everything from payroll and taxes to online marketing and IT. For each and every operational need, Avitas Group has an entire team of diverse, specialized professionals. Follow your dream. Leave the logistics to us.
Welcome back to Herb Clint Field here on the campus of Rocky Mountain College. An overcast fall day. It's supposed to be around 60 degrees, though, this afternoon. Had a little bit of rain this morning during the tailgate show, but it looks like that might melt off a little bit. They're expecting rain later in the afternoon, but this early start here today, Jesse, might actually save both of these teams from playing in the wet and the muck.
Yeah, hopefully it'd be a clean game. I did see a few of the kids slipping and falling in pregame warm-ups, but I think it'll be okay.
Oh, it's a beautiful field right now for a grass field. Looking like this on the last day of October, it looks great.
Absolutely.
I was telling the groundskeepers here they did an outstanding job. Busy day in Billings, Montana, because right across the way, your Billings Central Rams are playing Laurel for the state championship in soccer. I actually went over there, and it was just went into the half, and it was 0-0, so I don't know what happened in the second half, but then Bob Ritteroth, who normally is with us, he's in charge of the NFHS video stream of all the state championships, and he's been running around at that one. And then Amen Parks got, I think, both Missoula schools and both Helena schools playing for the state title over there. So he'll be absent from us today, but he'll be doing plenty of things for high school soccer here this afternoon. Let's take a look at Rocky's starters here today. Some of the names you have gotten to know quite well this season. On offense, number 6, Chase White, 6'3", 210, the junior out of Shelby, Montana, the number 7 ranked passer in the nation. Tailback, number 22, Cody Varner, 6 foot 195, the junior out of Baker, Montana. The last 2 drives of the game last week featured Cody quite a bit, and he did very, very well in those drives. Wide receiver core, number 1 receiver in the nation. Number 4, Andre McCulloch, 6 foot 202, the senior out of Riverside, California. Number 3, Jace Van Zee, 5'7", 190, the junior out of Billings West, and he did great in that final drive, had 5 catches. Number 81, Kalen Reed in the slot, 6'4", 210, the junior out of Kalispell Glacier. And number 17, Dylan Woodhall, 5'9", 170, the sophomore out of Stanford, Montana. Up front, across the front, played very well last week. Number 77, Xavier Walker, 6'4", 295, the senior out of Las Vegas. Left guard, number 54, Dylan Johnston, the senior, 6'3", 270, out of Cutbank, Montana. The center is a true freshman, Kyle Reitler, right here out of Billings Skyview, 6'5", 300 pounds. Right guard, Melvin Ware, the sophomore out of Hardin, 6'3", 300. And the right tackle will be Jerry Hunter, 6'3", 280, the junior out of Portland, Oregon. So that's the offensive unit for Rocky Mountain College. I know another dominant player on offense that is a senior this year, and next we talked about Andre's last game will be next week against Carroll. Xavier Walker and Dylan Johnston, that left side of the offensive line that's been so good. They're seniors as well, so next week will be their final game here at Herb Clint Field. The defense, 3-4 defense. Nose tackle will be number 91, Brendan Johnson, 6'2", 285, the junior out of Anaheim, and he created havoc a lot last week as well on the defensive end. The 2 ends, number 37, Austin Chamberlain out of Helena High, 6'3", 250, and a junior. And the other D end, one of the captains, number 90, Seth Swandle, 6'1", 240, the junior out of Shields Valley. Outside linebackers is a great game for number 2, Jason Baker, 5'11", 200 junior out of Billings West. And Cole Jelinek led them in tackles last week. He's wearing number 15, 6'2", 215, the junior out of Denton. Middle linebackers, the 2 seniors in the front 7. Number 3, Jordan Kesson, 6', 215 out of La Habra, California. And number 56, Will Peppard, 6'1", 230, this senior out of Whittier, California. In the secondary, one corner, Darrell Fulton, number 12, 5'10", 185, the sophomore out of Forsyth, Montana. The other corner, Jordan Upton, 5'9", 175, the senior out of Kennewick, Washington. The safeties, Eric Buer, the senior out of Huntley Project, 5'9", 180. And the free safety, the hard-hitting Justin Gallegos, 6'1", 190, the sophomore out of Fresno, California. And he took over the starting position about 4 games ago. And I'll tell you what, there's at least a couple of tackles during the game. You see Justin Gallegos come in and clean up around the pile. He is a hard hitter.
In that Tech game, I think his hit right off the very first play of the game was one of the harder ones I've seen in person. And he's very athletic. He can be very explosive.
All right, so we're going to take another 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll quickly go through Southern Oregon's starters. You're listening to FM 99 The Mountain, MTSportscast.com, and KVRM here in Billings. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Planning a stay in Billings? See what the newly renovated Billings Hotel and Convention Center can do for you. With its state-of-the-art sound system, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center is the best place in Billings to host your next meeting or conference. Ease your cares from traveling in the newly renovated rooms or relax in the hot tub while the kids enjoy both of the indoor water slides. And if you want to really enjoy the big game, experience the renovated Sports Lounge, complete with giant flat screens for your viewing pleasure. Locally owned and operated, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center is your best bet on your next stay in Billings.
For signs big or small, from banners to illuminated, Sign Pro has been your leader in signs since 1990. Sure, you know we provide high-quality displays, magnets, decals, vehicle graphics, certified installers, and more. But have you heard about our new cutting-edge techniques at Sign Pro? UV flatbed technology produces full-color brilliance that no one in the region can match, printing directly to almost any sign surface. The results are faster, higher quality, and much more cost-effective.
Sign up with Sign Pro.
A home is more than just a building. It's a refuge from the outside world, a place where families can feel safe and secure. At Stockman Bank, we enjoy helping Montanans build and own their own homes. And we treat borrowers like friends and neighbors, because they are. Treating people with respect, care, and a personal touch is the Montana way. It's the only way we know. Stockman Bank. Montana banking, pure and simple.
Upgrade. It means your day just got better. That's the idea behind First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. With every purchase, you earn points you can use to upgrade just about any aspect of your life. Even better, rewards come from your world, your neighbors, your favorite local businesses. It's the difference between dining out and dining out in style, your style. First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. Your style, your rewards.
Welcome back to Herb Clint Field. Let's go through the starters for Southern Oregon. At quarterback, number 7, Tanner Trozen, the junior at 6', 180. He's out of Folsom, California. The tailback, number 23, Melvin Mason, 6', 200 and a junior. Wide receiver core, Matt Retzloff, a junior. Jeremy Scotto, also a senior, Adonis Griffin, probably the most talented receiver on this squad, 6'4", 225. He's a big receiver and a senior. And number 80, Dominic Giampoli, 6'1", 205 and a sophomore. Up front they go Larry Bowen, 6'4", 300. Dylan Bratley, 6'4", 300. Sheridan Old, 6'4", 235. Connor Astley, 6'4", 260. And Tyler King, 6'6", 305. So we're going to take another timeout here during the national anthem. When we come back, we'll get you the starting lineup for their defense, their 4-3 defense, and also look at the keys to the game when we come back in 3 minutes.
Charlie, and I've been rodeoing for about 12 years. You learn to love it and you grow up with it all the time, and you have to get hooked on a rodeo by somebody, and that's your family. When I lost my granddad, it was pretty rough. Everybody loved him so much, and if he didn't smoke, he'd probably still be here. Athletes try to stay in the best of shape as they can, and smoking's not going to get you there.
So I decided to stand up and help the Montana rodeo that I love break away from tobacco.
My name is Carson. Rodeo has become a very big part in my life. To win a rodeo, you got to be really dedicated, so I have to stay in shape. Really like when you're getting done with a round, because sometimes you have the highs and your lows in rodeo, but when you do good, it's really a great feeling. Tobacco, in my opinion, doesn't belong in rodeo. I mean, you can look at all the statistics, and it's just been a damaging, destructive product. Tobacco doesn't take center stage, not in my rodeo.
Our physicians and athletic trainers have been building better athletes for over 20 years. We are the official sports medicine provider to the Billings Mustangs, MSUB Yellow Jackets, and Rocky Mountain College Battle Bears. AMP ensures that athletes of all ages and skill levels receive the training and medical care for top performance and to stay healthy. AMP, Athletic Medicine and Performance, powered by St. Vincent Healthcare, Ortho Montana, and Yellowstone Surgery Center.
As a driven business owner, you want to pursue your dream, not worry about administrative chores, employee benefits, and HR. With the Vetus Group, you don't have to. We'll provide the solutions you need. Everything from payroll and taxes to online marketing and IT. For each and every operational need, Avitas Group has an entire team of diverse, specialized professionals. Follow your dream. Leave the logistics to us.
Planning a stay in Billings? See what the newly renovated Billings Hotel and Convention Center can do for you. With its state-of-the-art sound system, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center is the best place in Billings to host your next meeting or conference. Ease your cares from traveling in the newly renovated rooms, or relax in the hot tub while the kids enjoy both of the indoor water slides. And if you want to really enjoy the big game, experience the renovated Sports Lounge, complete with giant flat screens for your viewing pleasure. Locally owned and operated, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center is your best bet on your next stay in Billings.
For signs big or small, from banners to illuminated, Sign Pro has been your leader in signs since 1990. Sure, you know we provide high-quality displays, magnets, decals, vehicle graphics, certified installers, and more. But have you heard about our new cutting-edge techniques at Sign Pro? UV flatbed technology produces full-color brilliance that no one in the region can match, printing directly to almost any sign surface. The results are faster, higher quality, and much more cost-effective.
Sign up with Sign Pro.
Welcome back to Herb Clint Field. Let's go through the starters for Southern Oregon and their 4-3 defense. The defensive tackles, David Wider, 6'1", 280. Sam Woods, 5'11", 280. The defensive ends, Trevor Jones on one side, 6'1", 230, and a senior. The leading sack man for Southern Oregon, Joseph Lilofi, 6'2", 240, the senior out of Los Angeles. The linebacking core, outside backers will be number 31, Miles Blake, 5'11", 205, junior. O'Shea Dunmore, 6'2", 225, and a junior. He started his career at the University of Oregon. The corners will be Carrington Jones, 6'2", 185, the senior. We'll see a lot of him on Andre McCulloch here today. Number 13, A.J. Cooper, 5'9", 160, a redshirt freshman out of Las Vegas. The safeties, NAIA Frontier Conference Player of the Week, Julius Rucker, 6'2", 210, and a junior out of Portland. And the other one will be Jalen Hart, 5'10", 180, the senior out of Carson, California. So, Jesse, we'll go through the keys of the game, and one we already touched on. Rocky is playing the team that's number one in the nation on third down conversions. So this Southern Oregon team likes to get in third and short, so they have to be good on first and second down.
And when the Rocky defense gets spread out, those front four guys are going to have to contain those trap plays, those dive plays up the middle, without much help from linebackers or the safeties.
Okay, another one would be no turnovers. Obviously, College of Idaho had 4 turnovers that created 4 touchdowns for Southern Oregon in the rout last week, so they have to be clean in that category as well.
And we've talked about that along with your next point, penalties. Don't shoot yourself in the foot, especially early on in this game.
Against the number one team in the nation, the defending national champs, you can't shoot yourself in the foot at all. And the final thing for me, they got to get a ground game going early and often in this one with Cody Varner, Jade Olson at the tailback position.
Yeah, that ground game's going to take a lot of pressure off Chase White and the receiving core, and that gives you a lot of opportunities, like you said, With Southern Oregon, you get 3rd and short. Those are easier to convert than a 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10.
All right, so we're ready to play some football. Rocky actually won the toss and deferred, so Southern Oregon will get it first here this afternoon. They're in their road white uniforms with gray pants, white helmets. They're red and black and white are their school colors. Rocky in their home green jerseys, green pants, white numbering, and white helmets. A lot of pink on Rocky Mountain College in Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And it's Halloween, man. Happy Halloween. My kids can't wait until tonight. They were excited that this game started an hour earlier so I could get home in time to take them trick-or-treating.
I don't have kids, so I completely forgot that it was Halloween. Thank you for reminding me. That's great.
All right. Evan Connolly, the kicker out of Waterford, Ireland, tees it up. And it's an onside kick right off the bat. And Rocky's got it. Did it go 10 yards? Did it go 10 yards before he touched it? It was very, very close. And how about that for right off the bat? Rocky tries the surprise onside kick, and guess who recovered it? The young man from Ireland, Evan Connolly.
I love the call from Coach Armstrong. Nobody's expecting that. We're talking about Halloween, and here we go with the onside kick. And Connolly did a great job. He could have touched the ball well before, but he was right on top of it, knew exactly where he could touch it, and then fell on it at the exact right moment.
Great call. 1st and 10, Chase White in the gun, 4 wide receiver set, 2 to either side. Fake it to Varner, back to pass. Look in the flat, Dylan Woodall's got it, but a minimal gain of maybe a yard is all for the youngster on the outside out of Stanford, Montana.
And White needs this. He needs some of those easy completions, those rollouts. He's really good on a rollout, especially to his left, so he can throw real easy. Those are the types of completions that he needs to get his rhythm.
No gain, 2nd and 10 from their own 46-yard line for Rocky. Back to pass goes White. Fires sideline, too high and outside for McGee. So very quickly they're going to find themselves in a 3rd down and 10. And McGee was actually open on that little out route.
McGee was open, came back. The throw was just a little off. I think White's a little keyed up for the start of this game. But once he settles down and we keep on giving those easy passes, he's going to look better.
I agree with you. Sometimes in a game like this, you're really charged up. And I heard this morning they were really charged up. Excited for the opportunity here today to take on the best in the nation. So 3rd and 10 from their own 46 for the Battling Bears. Chase White in the gun. 3 receivers to the left, Andre to the right, and press coverage. Carrington Jones is actually the corner out here on him, and he has safety help behind by Jalen Hart. 3rd and 10, White back to pass. Here's the pressure. Throw the screen to Varner, and Varner gets tracked down and tackled by Isaiah Carter, and it'll be 4th down and about 7.
Yeah, Isaiah Carter, great job by Carter there to get the tackle. He was actually kind of half blocked, and he was still able to get a couple arms around Cody Varner to bring him down. So great call by Coach Armstrong to get the ball right off the bat, off of the onside kick, but didn't produce. So they're going to have to play some good defense here on this trip.
So now they're going to punt this one away. Caleb Benson, the youngster from Sydney, comes in and punt this one away to one of the best return guys in the conference, J.J. Latu. Here's a good kick, angled to the sideline, takes a rocky bounce, and actually a bounce out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. So well done by Benson, keeping it away from Latu. And Rocky's defense comes out for their first test of this football game.
Tom, you kind of touched on it earlier. The common opponents between both of these teams, both have played at Carroll College. Again, Southern Oregon lost that one, and Rocky lost on a Hail Mary at home versus Carroll College. Southern Oregon won on the last play, and actually we're going to get Carroll coming here next week. So these teams have played each other pretty well, and this is going to be a good game.
All right, 1st and 10, Trozen in the shotgun. Back to pass. Here comes the pressure. He has to throw it away, and I don't think he was outside of the tackle box. Seth Swandle was there in a blink, and the officials are coming together. This may be intentional grounding. There is absolutely nobody over there, and if he didn't get outside, yes, it is. It is intentional grounding. He didn't get outside the tackle box and threw it over to the sideline. Great job by Seth Swandle.
Good call, Tom, and good call by the refs, even if it was late. They talked about it. But all 3 receivers, he only had 3 coming out. All 3 of them were running on a streak, a jet passing route. And so there was nobody involved even within the first 20 yards of the play. and that's why you get that grounding call with Swandle coming off in a blink. That was quick. He's really good off the line.
If they can get that kind of pressure today, you got to like their chances as well. So that the down counts, I believe, and it's 2nd down and 20 now as it's back down at the 9-yard line. They still have first down on the sticks. Trozen rolls to his left, looking, firing deep, sideline, caught. Enough for the first down by Jeremy Scotto, and that's a gain of about 23 yards and a first down.
Scotto, 5'9", 195-pound senior receiver, did a great job coming along on the drag route, and a perfect pass by Trozen.
Out to the 34-yard line. So 1st and 10, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Melvin Mason behind Trozen. He shifts to the right, hand it to him up the middle, gaping hole. 45, midfield, down at the 48-yard line.
Tom, we talked about that. That Southern Oregon spreading you out and just gashing you up the middle. The linemen have to take care of that. Brendan Johnson has to be in the middle to at least slow him down and change direction.
And they're hurrying up. 1st and 10 at midfield, just over into Rocky territory, 49.5. Handed off Mason again. Mason this time gets tackled at about the 45-yard line, a pickup of 4 yards. But boy, they're got some success right there in the middle of the field against Brendan Johnson and Seth Swandle and Austin Chamberlain up front. 2nd down and call it 7 now at the Rockies' 45-yard line. No score, 12:51 to go in the opening quarter. 2 receivers to either side. Trozen hands it off Mason. Mason hitting the backfield, and great hustle by the Rocky defense, getting him down for no gain. Austin Chamberlain, Brendan Johnson, and Will Peppard all on the spot.
Swandle and Chamberlain kind of broke through at the same time, and Swandle almost had the strip, too. He's going for the ball, trying to get those turnovers.
3rd down and 6. Long 6. They got to cross the 39 for a first down. Ball on the 45. 2 receivers to either side. Trozen in the gun. Melvin Mason offset to his left. 3rd down. Here's the snap. Play action. Trozen fires. Sideline caught. Is it enough for a first down? Depends on the spot. Very, very close. He completed it out there to number 15, Jeremy Scotto. That's a 6-yard gain. And right now they got it as 4th down, don't they? So they're going to go for it. 4th and very, very short. Give it up the middle. Dives for the first down is number 21, Keegan Lawrence. And he gets it by a couple of yards for a new set of downs.
Very impressed with Scotto's route running. That one that got him 4th and short was just a quick out route. He's got very good footwork on the side.
So a gain of 2 yards and a first down. Down to Rocky's 36-yard line. No score yet. Rocky got the onside kick to start the game and went 3 and out. Trozen back to pass, has time, steps up, throws deep down the right sideline, incomplete. Looking down there for Togia, and that'll be a 2nd down and 10.
And Trozen, when he reads his receivers, he's looking deep first, and then he'll start looking underneath. And if he thinks he has anything over the top, I think he's going to go for it all game long. This time, Rocky, great coverage. The throw's a little bit over. Good job for the Rocky defense on that play.
So 2nd and 10 from Rocky's 37-yard line. Trozen to fire out in the flat. It's caught by Lawrence, and what a play out there by number 2. Jason Baker blew that up. He didn't get the tackle, but he made Lawrence cut back inside for a minimal gain of about 2 yards.
Coaches talk about penetration all the time, and Jason Baker did just that. He took his receiver, was trying to get the block on the edge, and just spoiled the entire play. That was in order so his teammates behind him could get a tackle, and that was a great play by Jason Baker. He made that stop.
So now you got a 3rd down and 9 at Rocky's 35-yard line. 11 minutes to play in the first, no score. Trozen in the gun, he's going to throw. Back to pass, looking, fires sideline, caught again on the out route down to the 23-yard line, a gain of 13 yards and a first down.
Daryl Fulton, on the coverage there, and he had the route. He knew the route that was being run. He tried to undercut it. He wasn't quick enough to get there. I think that's going to be something that these guys are going to be able to take advantage of if they keep on going on those short 8-5-yard out routes that come underneath and take that one back to the house.
Chase Cole on the reception there. This is why they're number 1 in the league on 3rd down conversion. Razzle-dazzle. Double reverse. Back to Trozen. Looking to throw. Firing end zone. Almost picked off. Great job by Rocky. not biting on the double reverse. Then they got it back to Trozen. He went deep into the end zone for Adonis Griffin, and great coverage out there by Terrence Williams.
I saw what Trozen was looking at after the double reverse. I didn't think he was going to throw it. I thought that he had a chance to run it, but he threw it into double coverage. Great defense.
Second down and 10 from Rockies 23. Handed off up the middle. Mason cuts outside to the left, goes to the sideline, and gets down to about the 18-yard line, a pickup of 5 yards.
Jordan Upton did a good enough job. He kind of slipped there on the play, so he was only able to force out of bounds. But Upton did a good job of forcing that outside route and kind of cut him short. So now you get a 3rd and, 5 or 6?
3rd and 5, once again, one of the best in the nation at converting third downs. This drive started clear back at their 9-yard line. They're all the way down to Rockies' 18-yard line on the 12th play here on this drive. Mason is your tailback, offset to the left of Trozen. Trozen in the gun. Handed off. No, he keeps it. Read option around the left side, slides down at the 14-yard line. And that's going to be close. I don't know if he's got the first down there or not. I don't think he does. A gain of 4.
Great job by the Rocky defense to be able to cover. When you're playing against that option offense, you got to cover both sides, and they did a good job of doing that.
So 4th and 1 now. They're going for it. Trozen in the gun, and they get Rocky to jump offside, so they're going to get a free first down via the penalty.
That's tough. If you're a lineman, you know it's either going to be a quick pass, so you got to try and get there and get your hands up, try to get a block pass or something. That also put pressure on the quarterback. And to be able to do that against a guy who's trying to draw you off sides, it's tough. Especially when you're a lineman all keyed up, backed up against your own end zone. So you can still get a stand here, hold them to a field goal.
So 1st and goal now at the 9-yard line for Southern Oregon. 9:23 to go in the first. No score. Trozen. Give it to Mason. Mason gets tracked down from behind and brought down for no gain. And I believe that was Anderson Otuafi off the edge.
Otuafi did a great job. Knew exactly where the ball was going, and I think it was another read option. But Otuafi did a great job seeing the ball, making a great form tackle to bring him down for a loss.
For Mason, that's 5 carries on this drive alone. Now Keegan Lawrence checks in for him. 2nd down and goal from the 9. Trozen back to pass, loves it, and complete. Didn't like the coverage, threw it deep out of the back of the end zone. And it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 9. So even though this is a long drive, Jesse, if they can stop them here and hold them to a field goal, you got to feel good about your defense. So 3rd and goal now from the 9. Rockies defense has been on the field a lot here in this first quarter on this drive. 5-minute drive on the 15th play right now. Trozen, the freshman quarterback, in the gun. Mason back there with him. 3rd and goal from the 9. Back to pass. Fires. Sideline. Caught. Not enough for the touchdown. Buer will tackle him out of bounds. That's Scotto again down to the 3. A gain of 6, but it'll be 4th and goal.
They tried to run a rub route and get Eric Buer caught up with the other receiver kind of streaking up the middle. Buer did a great job, number one, to avoid that little rub or a screen, as some coaches will call it, and be able to make the tackle. But they're going to go for it here on 4th and 3.
4th and goal from the 3. Southern Oregon going for it. Trozen rolling to his right. Rolling, looking, nothing open. Throws, touchdown. Got it in there to Adonis Griffin. Boy, he threw that into a crowd and got the touchdown on the 16-play drive.
Yeah, interesting call. A rollout to the right. Obviously, Trozen's pretty comfortable on the rollout to his right, so he can throw over it. Griffin was kind of in the middle of the pack. He had 2 receivers out more towards the corner of the end zone, and Griffin was the one that he just found the right angle, and great catch by Griffin. So good drive here by Southern Oregon to start us off.
They're going to try the PAT here as the kicker, I believe, is number 99, Marcus Montano. Here's the kick, and it is good. 8:04 to play in the first. Southern Oregon strikes first, 7-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
A home is more than just a building. It's a refuge from the outside world, a place where families can feel safe and secure. At Stockman Bank, we enjoy helping Montanans build and own their own homes. And we treat borrowers like friends and neighbors, because they are. Treating people with respect, care, and a personal touch is the Montana way. it's the only way we know. Stockman Bank. Montana banking. Pure and simple.
And welcome back. That was a 16-play, 91-yard drive, capped off by the 3-yard TD to Adonis Griffin. Gives Southern Oregon the lead 7-0.
You know, Tom, Rocky had their chances to get off the field. It's tough when you stop them on 3rd and 6, and they still get it 4th and 2, and they go for it, end up getting it, type of deal. But you know that's defense. You got to suck it up, and you got to make those stops. Those are the stops that are going to win you the game. And so I think moving on, you got to adjust your fourth down calls a little bit on defense, and then you can start looking to get a turnover on downs.
Yeah, they go for it on 4th down all the time, and just couldn't get off the field on 4th down. Baker will field it at his own 2. Coming around the right side, breaks a tackle to the 17, breaks another tackle, but gets pushed back to about the 17-yard line, and that's where Rocky will take over on their second drive.
I think on this drive, I don't think you change a game plan if you're Rocky. Try to get Chase White going. Try to get him in a rhythm. Give him a couple passes over the middle. The middle seems to be open. Those linebackers will vacate and kind of go to the edges. So if you can get, especially an Andre over the middle, get him open in some space, you can make some plays.
All right, 1st down and 10 from their own 18. Rocky down 7-0 now. Baker handed off Varner around the outside, has some room, gets to the 22-yard line. So a nice pickup of 4 yards on 1st down on the first run play of the game for Rocky.
Jalen Hart on the edge there did a great job, form tackle, covering the edge, not letting him get outside. So good play there by Southern Oregon defensive back.
Chase White now 2nd down and call it 7 from their 21. Looks to the sideline, has trips to the left. One to the right is Andre McCulloch. Once again, press coverage by Carrington Jones. Varner still the tailback, 2nd down. White is going to throws the quick screen. It's caught. Tyrell McGee makes a man miss and gets out to the 26-yard line. So he'll pick up a 5 yards, and it'll be 3rd and short.
Great play call there by Coach Armstrong. Easy completion. Try to get your receiver to make a play. There was good blocking up front, and you're able to get 5 yards out of that one and to make it 3rd and 6.
The heavy package comes in now for Rocky on 3rd and short. They huddle. You don't see that very often, do you? They huddle, and no wide receiver set. 3rd down and 2, they'll call it. And they got, I think Rocky actually jumped off sides. Did they get a false start here, or did the defense jump first?
I want to say the defense jumped into the neutral zone first. I think it was the left defensive tackle there. I think that's what the call should be.
Rocky's pointing that way right now. So we'll see. The officials have all come together, and after last week, I don't trust anything until I hear it. So now they come back. Let's hear the call.
Yep,
defense was offside, so they get a free 1st down with the 5-yard penalty. So a nice job by Chase White in this offense getting the 1st down 7-0.
I think those are the kind of breaks that you need, and you welcome those breaks if you're the Rocky offense. You get a free 1st down, kind of take some of the pressure off, and now you're here at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 32. Trips to the right, 1 to the left. Fake it to Varner, throw over the middle. Kalen Reed, incomplete. Boy, did Jalen Hart, the senior defensive back, break on that ball. Got there very, very quick to knock it off out of the big slot receiver's hands.
I about swallowed my tongue when Chase decided to throw that because Hart was on a beat. He read that the entire way. And if these safeties are going to be that aggressive, I think a double move route is going to suffice very well if you can get protection for Chase White.
So 2nd and 10 now from their own 32. Woodhall in motion. Give it to Varner up the middle, and Cody, not much room. Gets out to about the 35-yard line, a pickup of 3, and it'll be a long 3rd down on their own end, down 7-0.
And you can't abandon the run game. You need Cody Varner to get some good chunks of yardage to make it at least a 3rd and 8 instead of a 3rd and 10. So good job there, and the line kind of opening up a few holes up front.
6 minutes to play in the first. 7-0 Southern Oregon. 3rd and 7 from the 35. White's going to throw. Here comes the pressure. Steps up. He decides to run. He can get the first down to the 40. Slides down at the 44-yard line. A nice pickup of 9 yards and a first down for Chase White.
If Chase White can do that, can at least make the defensive coaches and make those linebackers think, do I have to spy him? Do I have to spy him on 3rd and long? That takes another guy out of coverage, and that frees the motions up for Chase White and his reads.
And the coverage bailed out of there. There was no linebackers past the initial wave. 1st and 10 from the 43, handed off Varner around the left side, has a crease on the outside, and gets out to about midfield, maybe at about the 49-yard line, so a good pickup of 5 yards on first down for the Baker product.
That's a great run call. Bust him up on the inside a couple times, get that defense to key in on the inside guard, and then bust it outside for a nice 6-yard gain.
Rockies advance the ball to their 49-yard line, down 7-0. Twins to the left, one to the right is Andre. White handed off Varner. Varner comes around the right side, makes a man miss, jumps over another. 45-40, 35-30. We have a flag on the play. He gets bumped out at the 21-yard line, and I think they're going to get Andre on the crackback block. But that flag came down at the 30, so even if it's a 10-yard penalty, it should still be enough for a first down. And what a good run by Cody Varner.
Yeah, Varner hopped over a couple, I think it was A.J. Cooper coming out of the backfield who saw that run coming to the outside and tried to make a big hit. He just jumped right over his low hit, and then he got coming to the outside. Good speed. It was a good gain, but I think they are going to get Andre here for that illegal block.
Okay, so that was a illegal block. It should be a first down. Yes, it is. So we'll call it a gain of 7 yards for Cody Varner after the penalty has been taken off of there. So,
and a lot of activities.
Yeah, that's a 10-yard penalty, but from where it was thrown, it was more than enough for the first down. Go ahead, Jesse.
And something that I'm going to key in on here as the rest of this quarter goes on, these safeties are really active. They want to come up and lay big hits, and we can get a big play out of that.
7-0 Southern Oregon. Back to pass goes White. The defense was offsides. He has a free play going deep for McGee. He catches it down to the 20. Offset. The defense was lined up offsides, and he actually gets, 44. That's a 24-yard gain to Tyrell McGee.
Great pass by Chase White, even better catch by McGee. That takes incredible concentration to be on the sideline, to get a catch on the outside shoulder with a guy bearing down on you, knowing the sideline's right there as well. So there's a lot of things to think about as a receiver when you're going up to make that catch. And he did a great job, was even able to come down inbounds and get a couple more yards on the run. So great job. This is a good-looking drive for Rocky.
Boy, he had a free play there. They were offsides. Credit Chase White for knowing that, and he took a chance deep to McGee, and it paid off. First down in the red zone at the 20-yard line. White, play action, looking, throwing, end zone, incomplete. He was looking for Jade Olson out of the backfield, and that was too tall for the Malta product, and it'll be second down.
Armando Gauger, the defensive lineman, sophomore for Southern Oregon, was kind of the first one to break through and get penetration. Defensive line coaches especially always talk about penetration to get through there, and that's what brought Chase White back. He had to throw that one off his back foot, so it wasn't super accurate.
Second down and 10 from the 20, trailing 7-0. Chase White in the shotgun with Jade Olson as the running back, 2 receivers to either side. Gonna throw. White has pressure, steps up, looking, firing for Andre. He almost picked off. Great coverage there by Carrington Jones, and Andre couldn't get his hands on it. Very fortunate that one wasn't picked off.
And for such a tight window as it was, this is actually a pretty good throw. Chase White, again, a little bit under pressure from that from the right defensive end, but actually made a pretty accurate throw, and Andre had a chance at it. Carrington kind of had the angle better, and so I think Chase White pretty lucky that one falls incomplete after it was kind of bobbled around.
Well, now they flip Andre to the other side, and he's going to go against the redshirt freshman here on 3rd and 10. See if they go to that matchup. White in the gun. Play action. We have a stoppage of play. And I think we have a timeout called by Southern Oregon. I think they saw what we saw. They were going to Andre against the freshman.
I know I would.
And instead a timeout on the field. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. Southern Oregon up by a touchdown.
Upgrade. It means your day just got better. That's the idea behind First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. With every purchase, you earn points you can use to upgrade just about any aspect of your life. Even better, rewards come from your world, your neighbors, your favorite local businesses. It's the difference between dining out and dining out in style, your style. First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. Your style, your rewards.
And welcome back. Third down for Rocky at the 20-yard line going in, trailing 7-0. As Southern Oregon took their first drive, 16 plays, 91 yards for the touchdown, converted 3 different fourth downs on that drive, and now Rocky trying to answer. Has gotten all the way down to the 20, but they got a 3rd down and 10. Tight trips to the left. White back to pass, looking, going to run the football to the 20, and he's not going to get much farther than that. Gets to about the 18 and tackled down there by number 31, Miles Blake, so now Rocky's going to have to try the field goal.
And we talked about the timeout prior to. They had Andre match up with A.J. Cooper, the redshirt freshman out of Las Vegas, but he had help from Jalen Hart, the safety, over the top, and that's where White was looking right off the bat, and it was good double coverage, so he didn't go that way. Tried to get the first down on his legs.
35-yard field goal from the right hash for the Irishman. Snap, hold, kick on the way, has plenty of leg, and it is good. Rocky gets on the board, 7-3, with 3.5 to go in the first. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
About 12 years. You learn to love it and you grow up with it all the time, and you have to get hooked on a rodeo by somebody, and that's your family. When I lost my granddad, it was pretty rough. Everybody loved him so much, and if he didn't smoke, he'd probably still be here. Athletes try to stay in the best of shape as they can, and smoking's not going to get you there.
So I decided to stand up and help the Montana rodeo that I love break away from tobacco.
Rocky answers the touchdown drive for Southern Oregon. They get all the way down to the 18-yard line and get the field goal by Evan Connolly to make it 7-3. Southern Oregon with the lead.
You know, impressive drive, though, for Rocky. Started kind of back at their inside of their own 20. Got a couple breaks, a couple first downs. Had a couple. Cody Varner, we kind of talked about the run game for Cody Varner. That drive looked a lot better for Cody Varner than a drive for the running game that I've seen in a while. And so that's encouraging. They had some great plays by the receivers. I think Chase White he's very accurate so far today. He needs a little bit more time. The line's kind of getting after him, but I think that's a confidence boost for this Rocky team, who needs something well to go for them on offense right off the bat.
All right, 7-3, Rocky trailing. Here's the kick by Connolly, and it's deep in the end zone. This is going to be returned by J.J. Latu. He's coming around the right side, gets past the first wave, and gets out to about the 21-yard line. So good job by the coverage team wrapping up one of the Frontier Conference bests.
The defense is well rested. Probably got to talk a little bit about the 3rd and 4th down conversion plays that they need to go over and tighten those things up. So this should be a really good indication of how well this defense can adjust to this type of offense and the plays that they're making, and try to get the ball back into their offense, who's looking good right now.
All right, 1st down and 10 for Southern Oregon, leads 7-3 from their own 22-yard line. Mason will get it up the middle, gets past the first wave, and then takes a huge hit from Gallegos after a gain of about 6 yards.
We talked about that. Gallegos is good for at least 1 or 2 big hits every game, and that was the first one. There's probably going to be a couple more. But he's going to think twice about running up the middle with that safety coming bearing over him.
The sophomore out of Fresno. 2nd down and 3, we'll call it, after the 7-yard gain. Mason will get it again. Gets past the first wave, down to the 40-yard line, and gets pushed out of bounds by Terrence Williams at the 43-yard line. A pickup of 14 yards.
This one that run that trap right, that left guard swings over, and that swinging gate opens up that trap play. And you get solid gains out of that. I think that they ran the same play they did before. This one, they just got a lot bigger hole.
1st and 10 from their 43, 7-3, Southern Oregon. Trozen back to pass, has time, fires over the middle, and miscommunication there. The closest person was actually Terrence Williams, the defensive back, the sophomore out of Baltimore for Rocky.
And Terrence is having a great game so far. He's adjusted well to the routes. He's made plays when he's had the chance to. I think these guys are seeing these route trees, and they're going to be able to hop over them.
2nd down and 10. Handed off. Lawrence around the left side. Lawrence hurdles over a man and gets to midfield. A pickup of 7 yards for number 21, Lawrence, the sophomore out of Sherwood, Oregon.
Jelinek, as the outside linebacker, did his job. He contained the running back, kind of tried to push him back inside, but there was nobody else there for Rocky. These linebackers have to pursue the ball, and they cannot get tied up with any of these guards that are pulling out.
So you got a 3rd and 3 now right at midfield. 7-3 Southern Oregon, back to pass, quarterback draw. Coming around as Trozen lowers his pads. He does not get enough for the first down. He gets maybe 2 yards. And there is Jordan Kesson, Cole Jelinek, and Justin Gallegos.
Again, great job by Jelinek doing his job. As that outside linebacker you're supposed to contain. And the fake pass to the right didn't throw him at all. He stayed on his job as an outside linebacker, was able to contain the quarterback.
4th down and 1. Trozen in the gun, 4 receiver set. Tried to go on the long count. No one jumped. Looks to the sideline. 10 seconds to go on the play clock. 4th down and 1 from Rockies 48. 7-3 Southern Oregon. Here comes the blitz. And they're not going to get it off. Yeah. Is this going to be a delay of game? There is a flag on the field, and it is a delay of game. So Rocky's going to force the first punt of the football game after playing good disciplined defense on 4th and 1.
Yeah, I have to give a little bit of credit there to the activity of the defense beforehand, because Trozen's probably trying to read that play, trying to read the blitz, which guy's faking, which guy's coming, and there you go with the delay of game.
That was a big-time stop for Rocky's defense. Here is the punt. Dylan Woodhall, fair catch, made at the 11-yard line. 59 seconds to play here in the first. 7-3 Southern Oregon, and Rocky's defense did a good job there. 4-play drive, forced the punt from Southern Oregon. That doesn't happen very often for the Raiders.
I think credit, the MVP of that defensive series has to be Cole Jelinek. I think he had 2 tackles, but he's also doing his job. He's taking care of that outside run, so there's no big plays for the running backs or Trozen coming out on the outside after those option reads. So great job by Jelinek. I think he keeps on improving in that way, and that's a big step for Rocky defense.
All right, Rocky 1st and 10 from their own 12. Handed off Jade Olson. Jade squirts through, gets past the 15, out to the 17-yard line. A pickup of 5 yards for the young man from Malta.
Tough run. Coming through that line also, something we liked and something we talked about earlier in this game. He's covering up the ball with 2 hands. All those hands coming in, trying to punch that ball loose. He's taking care of it.
Run game actually starting to get a little ground here against Southern Oregon. 2nd and 5, fake it to Jade Olson, going to throw. Fire over the middle, incomplete. Tried to find Jace Van Zee, and O'Shea Dunmore was all over that one, and he is a big defensive back, 6'2", 225.
Yeah, if we want to keep that matchup highlighted, I know it's going to be something in the back of my mind, but I think Van Zee's quite a bit faster than that big guy, and so if you give Chase White even a half more second to let him step up and make an accurate throw, that's going to be a big gainer. Same matchup again.
3rd and 5 from their own 17, 18-yard line. 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. 7-3 Southern Oregon here from Herb Clint Field. White back to pass, looking, firing deep over the middle. Great coverage again. This time A.J. Cooper was all over Caleb Benson, and Rocky's going to have to punt it away.
So we kind of figured we were trying to figure out why they put A.J. Cooper on Andre McCullough, but they even got safety help over the top. But here, this one, A.J. Cooper flashing the type of player that he is. Great coverage route. He even had a chance to intercept that. There was nowhere to go for Chase with the ball.
So now the defense has to come right back out. That was actually only a 33-second drive. I kind of think they need to try running the ball a little more. Try to get this secondary to back off some. We have a flag before this punt can even get off.
You know, and I think you're right, Tom, for what you said before with the running game. The running game, that last couple of runs, not only by Jade Olson but also Cody Varner kind of late in the previous drive, those have been looking good. And those holes have been opening up. Xavier Walker's been doing a great job on that left side. So I think you get those gashes, you get 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard run on first down. Those are positive plays, and you can stick with that and then try to get Chase White into rhythm.
Now it's back to the 12-yard line. Caleb Benson on to punt. Back deep, Latou at his own 45. Here's the punt. Latou's going to return this one from his 40, and he gets tackled immediately. Great coverage down there. Cody Varner, actually, the tailback, first one to wrap him up. Southern Oregon in Rocky territory already after the punt.
So for your Rocky defense here, I think you pin your ears back on the route, but those deep, Brendan Johnson especially underneath, right underneath the guard, have to watch out for that trap play, and that's when you need Peppard, Jelinek, your linebackers have to take over and get the job done and keep it a short gain.
7-3 Southern Oregon. They have the ball at Rocky's 41. Trozen back to pass. Has time, going deep down the right sideline. Has a man. Touched, no, in and out of his hands. He dropped it. Adonis Griffin was well past the corner. Darrell Foten on the other side must have had 5 yards, and that was put right between the 8 and the 8.
And that's the first kind of uneasy play that the secondary's, who's done a pretty good job so far. Fulton didn't even know where the ball was. I think he knew it was coming, but he had no chance at that, and it was just a drop touchdown pass.
Wow, that dodged a bullet there for Rocky. Drop pass, Trozen, quarterback draw, and he has a lot of room to run to the 35, to the 30. Lowers his pads to the 25, and still on his feet down to the 23-yard line. A pickup of 18 yards on the quarterback draw.
I think Coach Howard saw that the Rockies really worried about those passing routes and dropping just about everybody except for the line, obviously, into coverage. And Trozen sees that and made a great play. That's a good chunky yardage on a quarterback sneak.
That's the end of the first quarter of play. Rocky trails Southern Oregon 7-3 here on FM 99 The Mountain, MontanaSportscast.com, and KVRM here in Billings. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
My name is Carson. Rodeo has become a very big part in my life. To win a rodeo, you've got to be really dedicated, so I have to stay in shape. I really like when you're getting done with a run, because sometimes you have the highs and your lows in rodeo, but when you do good, it's really a great feeling. Tobacco, in my opinion, doesn't belong in rodeo. I mean, you can look at all the statistics, and it's just been a damaging, destructive product. Tobacco doesn't take center stage, not in my rodeo.
And welcome back. End of the first quarter of play. Rocky trails 7-3. An interesting first quarter. Rocky actually had the surprise onside kick on the very first play of the game, but went 3 and out. The next series, Southern Oregon went 16 plays, 81 yards, got the 3-yard touchdown to Adonis Griffin, and the PAT was good. That was an 8-minute drive, the only touchdown drive so far of this first quarter, and then Rocky answered with a 35-yard field goal by Evan Connolly. That's where our scoring is, and now Southern Oregon got the ball deep in Rocky territory at the 41, and they've advanced it down to the 22 of Rocky, and we got a first down and 10.
And if you're a Rocky fan, it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow because Coach Armstrong had a great call right off the opening kickoff, got that onside. You couldn't move the ball at all. Your defense later on here in the quarter, your defense did a great job, stopped them on 4th down, got the ball back, couldn't do anything with the ball. So this right here has to be a good stand for Rocky. Hold them to a field goal, let your offense take over.
All right, then, so we got a 1st and 10. Trozen with trips to the right, 1 to the left, 1st and 10 from Rocky's 22. Handed off to Mason, up the middle, jump cut, gets down to about the 16-yard line. A pickup of 6 yards for Melvin Mason. who already has 53 rush yards here in this first half, and we just started the second quarter.
Melvin Mason's a big guy, 6 foot, 200-pound junior out of California. It's tough to bring him down, and it's kind of wearing on these backers. The safeties have to come up and try to wrap him around the legs.
Look at that huddle. They were in a straight line, and now they break 5-receiver set, and a tackle actually goes out too. Back to pass, throw in end zone, incomplete. Boy, they lined the tackle up out as a receiver, and then the tight end that was in the tackle spot went out, and it was incomplete. And we have an injured Battling Bear in the end zone, but what a unique formation that was, Jesse.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting coming right out of there. They were quick to shoot that one off and almost had a good touchdown there.
I think that's Justin Gallegos, the free safety, that's down on the field right now. So Jared Gallatin, the 6'3", 185-pound sophomore safety out of Polson, Montana, will come in for him, and Justin Gallegos runs off the field. Looks like the way he's holding his arm, it might be a shoulder injury. Or
yeah, that's the way it looks to me, like a left shoulder, maybe a left collarbone type area, maybe the left side of his neck. Hopefully just a little stinger that goes away.
So now you got a 3rd down and 4 for Southern Oregon after the trick play. 2 receivers to either side of Tanner Trozen. At Rocky's 16-yard line, 7-3 Raiders. Back to pass. Here's the quarterback draw again. Huge hole to the 5. Touchdown, Southern Oregon. That was easy. Tanner Trozen takes it in from 16 yards out on the quarterback draw, and they now lead 13-3.
And Billy Williams was kind of in the middle. I don't know if he was the spy. I don't know what the play call was, but he had a chance. But there was a guard that came up and made sure he had no chance to get to Trozen, and Trozen had a pretty easy walk-in for the touchdown.
That was a minute drive, too. It didn't take very long. 13-3, they come on for the extra point. Montano to line up for that. And we have a flag on the PAT, and this might back up Southern Oregon now. Actually, it looks like they're going to say Rocky lined up offsides.
And this is kind of a spotlight into the differences between these teams. I think they're Rocky and Southern Oregon, obviously very talented, but Southern Oregon taking advantage of not only their field position, but what their defense gives them. So defense kind of gave them a short field. They took advantage, and that's something Rocky hasn't been able to do, take advantage of the opportunities.
So a closer PAT, snap, hold, kick on the way, and it is good. 14:22 to play in the half. Number 1 ranked Southern Oregon leads 14-3. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Our physicians and athletic trainers have been building better athletes for over 20 years. We are the official sports medicine provider to the Billings Mustangs, MSUB Yellow Jackets, and Rocky Mountain College Battling Bears. AMP ensures that athletes of all ages and skill levels receive the training and medical care for top performance and to stay healthy. AMP, Athletic Medicine and Performance, powered by St. Vincent Healthcare, Ortho, Montana, and Yellowstone Surgery Center.
That was just about a minute drive was all, Jesse, and Southern Oregon gets the 16-yard quarterback draw where Tanner Trozen walked in for the end zone, and it's now 14-3. Some of the stats so far, Southern Oregon 152 total yards so far to just 69 for Rocky Mountain College. On 3rd and 4th down, Southern Oregon's 5-9, 57%.
And that was something we've talked about extensively here, especially prior to the game. You gotta, if you're the Rocky defense, you gotta stop them on 3rd down, which they've done a decent job of stopping them on 3rd down, but 4th down a different story sometimes. And so if you're that Rocky defense, you got to dig in. Now you have to worry about Trozen running, not only his arm, but we talked about he's a double threat. So it's going to be an interesting defensive strategy.
All right, here's the kick, and it drives Baker back into the end zone, and he's just going to take a knee on this one. And they'll take it at the 25-yard line. I really think they need to feature the run game here on this drive. Hopefully get some good yardage here, but at least take a lot of time off the clock. You're down 14-3. Even if you got a field goal out of this and tried to take it in at the half, 14-6, you have to like your chances.
Yeah, you need something positive to come out of here. Take some time off the clock as well. Give your defense a little bit of a rest. They've been on the field quite a bit. And, yeah, get the run game going. Get Varner going. Get get your running backs going, get those guys a chance to get open into space. The receivers are pretty good on the edge blocking the DBs, so kind of get him into the open, bust him up the middle, and then run outside.
All right, 1st and 10 from their own 25. Chase White goes trips to the right, one to the left, single coverage. And they're going to look for Andre. Throw, back shoulder fade, incomplete. Little too far back shoulder, and that was actually a good idea as Tarrington Jones was playing upfield of Andre, and the back shoulder was open.
Yeah, Carrington had the middle of the field covered. Chase saw that. Good back shoulder throw. Just a little off. Andre kind of had a chance at it, but it's tough in this condition trying to turn around and hit that.
So 2nd down and 10 now back at your own 25. White handed off the middle. Frank Brown rolls off of one tackle and drags tacklers out to about the 30-yard line. A pickup of about 5 yards, and it'll set up kind of a huge 3rd down here in the first half already. You don't want to give this ball right back to their offense.
No, your defense is gasping for air over there. They're not even out of their adjustment series yet, so you need to convert this 3rd down.
That was Frank Brown on the carry. So now you got a 3rd down and 5. Sideline. It is caught by McGee. McGee very close to a 1st down. Boy, credit the fight he had, but I think he's going to be a yard short.
So Coach Armstrong's going to have a difficult choice here. If it's an automatic go on 4th and short, or if he's going to go for it.
Quick. I think you about have to. And they get up quickly, and they do the quarterback sneak, and I think it's going to be close. Depends on the spot. They had to cross the 35-yard line, and you never know. Yeah, 1st down. They give it to 1st down. After last week on that 2-point conversion, I didn't know whether that was a 2-yard gain or a minus 4-yard gain. Let's just put it that way. It is a 1st down, and Rocky needed that.
You didn't sound very optimistic on that, but yeah, I think the refs are doing a good job for this game so far.
Yes, they are. 1st and 10 from their own 35. Fake it to Brown, throw it to the flat. McGee will catch it, and McGee gets a couple yards, is all on the bubble screen on the far side. And they're really featuring Tyrell McGee, the junior out of Kennewick, Washington.
Yeah, McGee's doing a great job. He's the one he's been the reliable guy so far in this first half for Chase White.
Van Zee, McGee, and Woodhall are all split to the left. Andre to the right. 2nd down and about 7.5. Frank Brown is still your tailback. Back there on this series, he is the big back at 6', 215, the senior. 2nd down, handed off Brown. Brown up the middle, stays on his feet, gets across the 40 to about the 41-yard line, a pickup of 4 yards. So now you got a manageable 3rd down.
So I like to call Brown in there. Brown's a different back from Varner. Brown's a powerful guy. It's hard to bring him down. He's probably not going to go down on the first hit, and so you get an extra couple yards. If you're going to try and bust him up the middle, it's going to be tough sledding, but that's why you have a guy like Frank Brown to be able to bust those yards right up the middle, get a couple extra yards after contact.
All right, so now we got a 3rd down and call it 4. From their own 41, White back to pass, looking, nowhere to go. Now tries running, makes a man miss and dives. He's going to be very close, but I think he's going to be a half-yard short. Man, he actually tripped over his own feet. If not, he may have had that. And Rocky, I think, are going to – no, they're not. They're going to punt it. This is 4th down, about the same as last time.
Yeah, it's 4th and –
No, I'm sorry. They're going to go for it. They're bringing on the heavy package. Now the heavy package is going off. Back and forth we go. 18 seconds to go on the play clock, and they do. They bring out the 4 receiver set. Still have plenty of time.
Yeah. No.
They're waiting since the offense substituted. The defense gets a chance to substitute. And we have a 4th down and a half-yard at their own 44. Andre's pointing over here at the play clock, and they're going to end up taking a timeout. I think Coach Armstrong saw that as well and just wanted to take his time. And the timeout is a Rocky 4th and a half-yard when we come back in 30 seconds.
As a driven business owner, you want to pursue your dream, not worry about administrative chores, employee benefits, and HR. With Avitas Group, you don't have to. We'll provide the solutions you need. Everything from payroll and taxes to online marketing and IT. For each and every operational need, Avitas Group has an entire team of diverse, specialized professionals. Follow your dream. Leave the logistics to us.
All right, welcome back to Herb Clint Field. Rocky is down 14-3 to the defending national champions and number 1 ranked Southern Oregon Raiders. Chase White and his offense has converted a 4th down and a half-yard already on this drive. They're going to have to do it again at their own 44-yard line. This time they're going to spread them out. 4 receivers set. White in the shotgun this time, trying to get him to jump, and now they're going to look to the sideline to get the signals. Still 14 seconds to go on the play clock. Brown offset to the left. Run the option. White fumbles it. It's on the ground. Still nobody's got it, and Southern Oregon is going to pick it up, and they're going to have it at the 43-yard line. They tried the option, and Chase White tried to reach out for the first down, lost it, and Southern Oregon gets the first turnover of the football game.
Yeah, I understand you have to reach out, you have to try and dive for that, but hold the ball with 2 hands and grip the ball, be strong with the ball coming up through the middle. Those are the types of things that, we talked about. You cannot shoot yourself in the foot. This is a critical 4th down. You're right at midfield. Now Southern Oregon gets the ball back, and here's a chance for them to go up even more.
Yeah, this is a critical drive here for Rocky's defense. 1st and 10, Trozen back to pass, looking, nowhere to go with it, rolls to his left, he loses it, and it's still on the ground. Who's got it? He got hit, and that's actually the backup quarterback that got hit by Seth Swandle. And did Rocky get it? They did. They caused the turnover right back as Cameron Smith, the backup quarterback, got hit from behind by Seth Swandle, and Rocky will get it right back.
Swandle started on the left side of the field, tried to go over the top of the tackle, had to come back underneath on the swim move, had to chase the quarterback down. Right when he was about to launch, Swandle got the hit, and if you're talking about tuck rule, Tom Brady type stuff, it was kind of right in between there, but they ruled it, fumble, made a couple of guys miss. There was a big scrum. Rocky comes up with it. So here's your chance. This is where you need a big play for the offense.
I agree. Back-to-back turnovers on back-to-back plays. 2 fumbles. White, play action. Going deep for Andre. Has Andre. He's caught it down to the 35-yard line. Andre got past number 13, A.J. Cooper, and he gets all the way down to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 31 yards.
A.J. Cooper's obviously a talented defensive back. He was hanging with Andre all the way down, but you can't leave him open in single coverage if you're Southern Oregon, and you got to take advantage of that if you're Rocky, and they did.
All right, so 1st down and 10 in Southern Oregon territory. Varner will get it around the right side. Varner gets tripped up as Jalen Hart came screaming up, the senior safety, for a loss of 3 yards. What a play by Hart.
Those safeties are really looking to come up and make the play against an outside run. That's why I think Frank Brown had more success up the middle. It takes those safeties out of it.
Yeah,
the safeties have to worry more about the receivers.
An athletic secondary like this, you're not going to outrun them to the sideline. So now you got a 2nd down and 13. White, play action, going to throw again, looking, no one's open, looking, floating at sideline, incomplete. There was absolutely nobody open on that play. And now you got a 3rd down with 10:01 to play in the first half, trailing 14-3.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what went on, but it was the play action, and he looked right the entire time. He had his eyes focused on one guy on the right side. He kind of floated that way. But he had 2 receivers over here on his left. McGee, who was actually open, but he wasn't looking that way at all. So I don't know if they have something that they dialed up specifically for the right side of the field on that, but you gotta see every option.
All right, so now we got a 3rd down and 13. White back to pass, has time, steps up, firing deep for Andre. Andre adjusts, and good coverage down there by Julius Rucker. A lot of contact, but they're going to let him play, and Rucker will knock it down, and it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be the first questionable call. Andre saw the ball was a little short. Chase tried to deliver it over the top, didn't get there, so Andre had to hold up. Julius Rucker didn't even see the ball. Wasn't looking at the ball, kind of just ran into Andre and then turned and saw the ball. Had a chance at the interception if he had turned around a little bit quicker, but that could have easily have been called defensive pass interference.
So now you got a 4th down and 13. Benson's punt. He squibs it towards the side. Latu at his own 5, and he scrambles out to about the 7-yard line. A great punt by Benson. Back Southern Oregon up deep in their own end.
Good punt, and you're right. If you have a chance here defensively, kind of stop the run, you think Southern Oregon either going to try to get some breathing room out of the back of their own end zone here, try to shore up that middle of the line, and then try to keep cover of with your defensive backs. Fulton, Terrence Williams, I think, has done a great job so far today. So you kind of looking that way.
All right, so you got a 1st and 10 from your own 8-yard line. 14-3 Southern Oregon. 9:48 to go in the half. Trozen in the shotgun. They're going to run it up the middle to Lawrence. Lawrence, he gets belted down. Boy, whoever delivered that hit in the scrum. Knocked the pile backwards. I didn't see who it was, but somebody laid the boom there on number 21, Keaton Lawrence.
I think Jelinek had a shot at him. I'm not sure if it was Jelinek or not, but that's the type of defense, that's the type of tackling that you need against this offense.
So 2nd down and 7. Hand it off to Lawrence again. Huge hole up the middle, and he's off to the races. Crosses the 30 to the 31-yard line. A pickup of 20 yards, and right up the middle is where they've been attacking this Rocky defense.
And there's so much pressure on the defensive tackles and ends, not only because, you have to take care of the run game right up the middle and try to take care of some of those blocks to help your linebackers, but you got to rush a quarterback too. It's tough.
1st and 10 from the 31. Handed off. Mason trying to get around the outside, and good hustle by Rocky that time. Cuts him down at the 34-yard line, a pickup of 3 yards. And I think that is number 20 there? Blake Burgess coming up out of the pile.
And Brendan Johnson was the guy that had to run from the right side off to the left, try and sling him down, and he was the guy that made the first hit. Burgess finished it off, so good hustle there by Brendan Johnson.
2nd and 7 from their own 34. 14-3 Southern Oregon. Handed off Mason. Mason going around the right side, and a nice job this time. I believe that was number 10 in there, Keenan Fagan, the freshman out of Lake Tapps, Washington, that makes the stop for the Battling Bears. And it was a gain of about 3 yards, and now you got a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, great tackle by Keenan. Saw the lane, did his job, stuck in it, got lower than the back, and brought him down.
So 3rd down and 3 from their own 37. For Southern Oregon, going 4 wide. Tailback is Lewis Macklin in his first action in this football game. 8 minutes to play in the half. Macklin offset to the right. Trozen. Back to pass, fires, sideline, caught. Togia will catch it for the 1st down, a gain of about 5 yards.
That was a pretty easy route there by Togia. Again, we talked about kind of some of these receivers' footwork, and just a simple out route, just a 6-yard, 7-yard out route, good completion. So great read there by the quarterback, just kind of a throw and catch.
So 1st and 10 from the 43 now for Trozen and his offense. Macklin. Give it to Macklin, and he gets thrown backwards. Deshaun McDaniel blew up the offensive line, and it's like the butt fumble. He ran into his own guy and got knocked down. No fumble, though, and a loss of 2 yards. What a play by Deshaun McDaniel.
And McDaniel's the guy that blew it up, and then Owafu coming around the outside was there, too, kind of late, but McDaniel deserves all the credit for that one.
Negative 2 yards on the carry. Rolling to his left is Trozen, going to throw back for the screen. They got it to Scotto. Scotto across midfield to the 48. He gets about 11 yards, but it'll be 3rd and 1. Nice, well-designed throwback screen when they rolled to the left.
Kesson, the linebacker, kind of was there. He had to try and make a tackle against 3 offensive linemen that had squirted out. But Terrence Williams doing a good job as well, coming up to help the run game out.
All right, 3rd and 1. From Rockies 48. 14-3 Southern Oregon. Give it to Macklin. Macklin spins. Mason, and he's got enough for the 1st down, a gain of 2 yards.
Gallegos coming up on a safety help on that one. Tried to deliver a big hit. Kind of spun off of it, but it was enough to bring him down. Good job by Rocky here in the last few plays to kind of shut down the explosive aspect, at least, of the run game. There's no big chunks of yardage, 8-10-yard runs anymore. They're keeping it down to 2 yards. So good tackling. The line finally getting involved. and the safety help is coming up. So you got to watch against the deep pass here.
1st and 10 from Rocky's 46. Trozen back to pass, throwing deep, going deep, and well overthrown. Looked like he tried to get Matt Retzlaff on the deep go route on the far side. Well overthrown, and actually took a big hit from Anderson Otuafi.
Yeah, Otuafi's doing a great job right now, coming off the edge, using his speed and getting his arm up underneath the tackle and be able to pin him back. And he got after the quarterback there on that one to make it an inaccurate throw. So great job by Otuafi on this drive especially.
All right, so now you have a 2nd down and 10 for Southern Oregon. 6:11 to play in the first half, 14-3. Southern Oregon with the lead here on the road. Flew the 1,100-mile trip here to Logan International. They hand it off. Latu on the fly sweep, going around the outside, takes a big hit out to the 37-yard line, so a pickup of 9 yards on first down for Latu.
We're seeing everything. This is a very inventive offense. They run a couple screen plays, an opposite screen play. That was a jet sweep. They got draws. They got quarterback sneaks. They got everything.
3rd down and 1. Lawrence will get it and gets through easily. He's going to score from 37 yards out, right up the A-gap. 37-yard touchdown, and it's 20-3.
And we kind of talked about it. Might be the announcer jinx, I'm not sure, but they did such a great job, especially there in the middle of the field, of stopping those explosive plays. Gallegos was the guy. He thought he saw the lane, dove on it, was trying to deliver a big hit, ended up being a big miss as the running back just scored through, making a big play on the ground to bring it 20-3 right now. Southern Oregon up.
I think all 2 of their touchdowns have been right up the A-gap.
Yeah.
Offsides here on the extra point by Rocky again. That's starting to get to be a problem. The last one of the Western game they were offsides, and now 2 of them here today they were offsides. All right, so Terrence Williams was offsides, and they'll try it again. That was a 9-play, 92-yard drive for Southern Oregon and a 37-yard Lawrence touchdown run. So they'll line up for the PAT again as Rocky has trailed by 3 touchdowns now. The kick is up by Montagna, and it is good. 21-3, 5:38 to play in the half. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Newly renovated Billings Hotel and Convention Center can do for you. With its state-of-the-art sound system, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center is the best place in Billings to host your next meeting or conference. Ease your cares from traveling in the newly renovated rooms or relax in the hot tub while the kids enjoy both of the indoor water slides. And if you want to really enjoy the big game, experience the renovated Sports Lounge, complete with giant flat screens for your viewing pleasure. Locally owned and operated, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center is your best bet on your next stay in Billings.
Well, that was a 9-play, 92-yard drive. Took 5.5 minutes off the clock, 4 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock. And it was a 37-yard touchdown run by Keaton Lawrence. Went right up the middle, right up the A-gap, just like when Tanner Trozen did on his quarterback draw. And they're just gashing Rocky right up the middle.
And it's tough, like I said, those linemen, especially against an offensive type like this with this scheme, those linemen have to be able to kind of absorb some of that space in the middle and help their linebackers out, but you also got to get after the quarterback. And when he's sitting back in the shotgun, it's kind of hard to make that decision and be able to get to the quarterback as well at the same time.
All right, here's the kick. Jason Baker's going to field this at his own 5-yard line. Need a big return here. Baker up the middle, gets across the 20 to the 25, stays on his feet to the 30, loses the football. It's rolling on the ground, and who has it? Oh, the big return could turn disastrous here for Rocky. And he got it back, thank goodness. Boy, it looked like it was going to be a big return. And one of the Southern Oregon players came in from the blind side and ripped it out of West's hands. Jason Baker's hands, out of West. And Rocky dodges the bullet and will have it at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was Jalen Hart. He kind of actually missed on a Baker juke early on, and then he came up from behind and really took a big swipe at that. So Jalen Hart causing the fumble on that one. I didn't see who came up with it for Rocky, but kind of a blessing right there to be able to keep the ball here and not go down big time.
Got to get a touchdown here, down 21-3. White in the gun, handed off Varner. Varner around the outside, not much room there. Gets out to the 33-yard line. A gain of 1 yard is all for Cody Varner.
So we talked about those safeties, Tom. They read the play very well. They haven't gotten, except for one Andre catch, they haven't gotten burned deep yet. So they keep on coming up against those runs to the outside, not going anywhere, because these safeties are really good pursuing.
White back to pass, looking, firing deep sideline. It's caught, wide open down. There's Wolffield, and Wolffield will get down to about the 42-yard line. A nice pickup there of 26 yards to Rod Wolffield.
Great job by Wolffield there to kind of gain his footing. I think he actually slipped, got his footing back, was able to make the catch. So a big-time gain.
1st and 10 from Southern Oregon's 42. Play action. White back to pass. Fires deep over the middle. Incomplete. Looking for Kalen Reed. Covered in there by Jalen Hart. And we have a flag in the secondary of Southern Oregon.
I think they might have got whoever was covering Reed. I didn't see. They might have got him for a holding penalty early on in his route. He was well beyond the 5-yard line. So, yep.
Okay, holding on the defense, so that'll be an automatic first down. Is it a 5-yard penalty? I think it is. So holding, automatic first down. That'll advance the ball down to the 32. I'm sorry, that's a 10-yard penalty. So Rocky getting the benefit there. Advancing down to the 32. Down 21-3. You've got to get a touchdown here, don't you?
Have to.
White in the gun, 2 receivers to either side. Fake it to Varner, throws the quick screen. McGee's got it. McGee makes a man miss to the 25, down to the 21-yard line. A nice pickup of 11 yards and a first down, and what a move by Tyrell McGee.
Great job by McGee. If he makes that catch, doesn't make that first guy miss, it's only a 3-yard gain. No big deal. McGee did a great job juking his guy out of the way, driving to the sideline, pick up those extra 6 yards.
4:14 to play in the first half. 21-3 Southern Oregon. Rocky on the move. Down to the 21-yard line. They got to get a touchdown here, not a field goal. They've gotten down here deep before, and they had to get the Connolly field goal. White in the shotgun. Doubles to the left, one to the right. Handed off Varner. Varner attacks the defense on the right side. Gets down to about the 20-yard line. Just a gain of 1 yard. And once again, Jesse, that lateral run going east to west is just not working against Southern Oregon.
Number 40, Joseph Liolfi, kind of on that left end position, did a great job of containing Varner and making him come back inside, and that's when the safeties and those linebackers took over. So they have good containment to the outside in every single run here today.
Twins to the left, one to the right. We haven't seen Andre at all in this whole drive. Fake it to Varner. White has pressure. He's going to run it. Gets down to the 15, down to the 10-yard line. Enough for the first down. An 11-yard gain for Chase White.
Give a lot of credit, Chase White, making a guy miss. He's doing a good job. Looking downfield. If nothing's there, he's kind of looking in front of him, see what lanes he has, making a couple guys miss, and then taking care of the ball. Bringing down, you got guys swiping, big guys coming from behind you to swipe the ball. So he's doing a good job protecting.
It's a 1st and 10, Jesse, just outside the 10-yard line, so they can get a first down and not score. 2:58 to go in the half. 21-3 Southern Oregon, but Rockies down to the 10-yard line. 1st and 10. Fake it to Varner. Throw, end zone, incomplete, but we have a flag in the end zone. They were looking for Tyrell McGee, and A.J. Cooper had a hold of his jersey. This is going to be a flag on Southern Oregon's defense.
Yeah, I think the redshirt freshman kind of had McGee by the back hind there, and it looked like a good throw, but then right as it delivered, it looked like it was a little short. And probably because A.J. Cooper was kind of holding on to McGee. So McGee's the highlighted guy since we haven't seen Andre. He's up. Andre's up. He doesn't have his helmet on, but he's on the sideline. He looks fine, but they're going after McGee, and he's a really good-looking receiver right now.
Well, they've had to change their coverage now that the number one guy's not on the field. Yeah. So kind of a gamble that might be paying off for Rocky. All right, 1st and goal now, down to just outside the 5-yard line. Chase White in the gun, Cody Varner back there with him. Handed off, Varner around the left side, cuts in, touchdown, Bears! Cody Varner takes it in for 5 yards out, and the Bears still have life.
Great job, Cody Varner. We talked about how Southern Oregon and their safeties have done such a great job shoring up the outside. That was, sure enough, it was Julius Rucker on the outside, forcing Varner back in, and he made a great cut, a very speedy, nice one cut, and scored the touchdown here as they look like they're going for 2.
They do this swinging gate with Jacob Bakken, the backup quarterback, and then they're going to shift. Yeah, here comes Evan Connolly.
Oh, there's Connolly. I didn't see him.
They trick everybody on that one. That was a 5-play drive. They needed that. Had a couple of holding calls on the defense to aid them on that drive. It's 21-9, and here's Connolly's PAT. Snap, hold, kick on the way. It lands at the granary. It's good. 21-10. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
For signs big or small, from banners to illuminated, Sign Pro has been your leader in signs since 1990. Sure, you know we provide high-quality displays, magnets, decals, vehicle graphics, certified installers, and more. But have you heard about our new cutting-edge techniques at Sign Pro? UV flatbed technology produces full-color brilliance that no one in the region can match, printing directly to almost any sign surface. The results are faster, higher quality, and much more cost-effective.
Sign up with Sign Pro.
That was a 5-play, 67-yard drive, capped off by the 5-yard touchdown run by Cody Varner, and they really needed that. It's now 21-10.
Like we talked about, Rocky has had trouble taking advantage of the opportunities that they have, especially offensively. This time they got a little bit of help from the Southern Oregon defense. Got a holding call on a route, got a pass interference, and that means you got to get the touchdown. And Varner did a great job of a one cut and getting into the end zone. So looking up here for the Rocky offense.
Here's an important point, too. Rocky will have the football first in the second half. 2:40 to go on the clock. They got to get Southern Oregon off the field with no points here. Deep kick. Latu will field it at his own goal line. JJ brings it out on the run, crosses the 20, 25-30, 35-40, down to the 45 midfield before he's brought down. That's why he's one of the most dangerous return men in the Frontier Conference.
JJ Latu doing a great job. He's got great vision coming through, and he knows exactly what cut to make. And the thing about his cuts is he doesn't slow down. He makes the right cut. They're not super flashy, but they don't have to be because he doesn't slow down. He's pretty much top speed the entire time. As soon as he catches the ball to whenever he gets tackled, he's going top speed, but he's still able to make the nice little cuts so he can hit those holes hard.
Rocky's coverage team usually pretty good, and that could be a critical mistake because they're already in Rocky's territory at the 49-yard line with 2.5 minutes to go in the half. Southern Oregon still has 2 timeouts left. So plenty of time for them in this high-tempo offense to get down and get some more points before going in at the locker room. They lead by 11 right now, 21-10. Trozen in the gun, trips to the left. They're going to run the quarterback draw. Up he goes, and he crosses 45 down to the 43-yard line. Boy, he's taken some big hits. Gallegos, Brendan Johnson, Will Peppard all there after the gain of about 7 yards.
McKesson, they're kind of getting in on the help, containing the outside, forcing him back inside, and that's when you get Gallegos to get those big hits and those linemen to come back.
2nd and 4 from Rocky's 43. 2 minutes to play in the half. Trozen handed off Mason. Mason going around the outside, and he's going to have enough for the first down to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 8 yards for Melvin Mason.
And that's the tough part. Brendan Johnson did a great job to get penetration. He just had a bad angle. Mason was going the other way. And so when you miss like that and you're the middle, you're the interior lineman, that opens up a huge gap, and it's tough to overcome.
1st and 10 from Rocky's 35, 1:46 to play in the half. Trozen doubles on each side, back to pass, looking, firing, sideline, almost intercepted. That you tried to go to Scotto out there, Jeremy Scotto. It was too high for him, and I don't think Jordan Upton expected to hit him in his hands, or he might have had a pick.
I think Scotto thought the ball was going to come later. He just barely broke out of his route, and I don't know if he slipped, but Upton didn't expect the ball for certain. It could have been an interception for him.
So 2nd and 10 now from Rocky's 35. 1:37 to play in the half. 21-10 Southern Oregon. Trozen going to run the quarterback draw up the middle. This time Rocky's got him. Gain of maybe 3 yards is all. Brendan Johnson and Will Peppard have seen that play a few times, and Southern Oregon's going to take their second time out. 21-10 here on FM 99 The Mountain and MontanaSportscast.com. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
A home is more than just a building. It's a refuge from the outside world, a place where families can feel safe and secure. At Stockman Bank, we enjoy helping Montanans build and own their own homes. And we treat borrowers like friends and neighbors, because they are. Treating people with respect, care, and a personal touch is the Montana way. It's the only way we know. Stockman Bank. Montana banking, pure and simple.
21-10 our score here. Southern Oregon with the lead over Rocky Mountain College. They've advanced the ball down to Rocky's 31.5-yard line. They have one timeout left. Rocky will get the football first in the second half and are desperately trying to keep Southern Oregon out of the end zone to try to keep in arm's length of this one. All right, here we go. Second down. Trozen back to pass, throws over the middle. It's caught. Togia down to the 20 to the 18-yard line. 13-yard gain and a nice throw over the middle of the field and found Taryn Togia for the first down. First down and 10. Minute 19 to go. Trozen will keep it up the middle. He goes and gets tackled down to about the 13-yard line. A pickup of 5 yards. Once again, that quarterback draw has been doing the damage, as now they're down to the 9-yard line. Second down, they're going to say that was a gain of 8. Up the middle they go, and they score. Keegan Lawrence will take it in from 9 yards out, right up the middle again for his second touchdown of the football game. And that was disaster for Rocky because the big kickoff return by Latu got it out to the 49-yard line. And just like that, in a minute and 30 seconds, they score to make it 27-10. And Montana will come out to try the PAT. Good news is there's still 58 seconds left, so time for Chase White and his offense to get some more points before the half. Here's the snap, hold, kick on the way, and it is good. 58 seconds to go, 28-10, Southern Oregon. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Upgrade. It means your day just got better. That's the idea behind First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. With every purchase, you earn points you can use to upgrade just about any aspect of your life. Even better, rewards come from your world, your neighbors, your favorite local businesses. It's the difference between dining out and dining out in style. Your style. First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. Your style, your rewards.
And welcome back to Rocky Mountain College. Southern Oregon marched right down the field. 58 seconds left. Minute 33 drive, 7 plays, 49 yards, is capped off by a 9-yard Keegan Lawrence touchdown run. And it's 28-10, the number 1 ranked team in the nation, Southern Oregon, with the lead. So they need a big return here between Terrence Williams or Eric Buer back deep for Rocky Mountain College. They do get the ball first in the second half, but you get the feeling that they really need to be able to score something here before they go in at the half. Even a field goal would be big for Rocky. Williams will settle under this at his own 5-yard line. Coming around the left, makes a man miss, crosses the 20 to the 23-yard line, and that's where Rocky will start with 53 seconds to go. So a big drive here for Rocky to try to get more points on the board and try to stay within striking distance, as they're going to start at the 23-yard line with 53 seconds to go. So Chase White and the entire offense huddled up on the side, and I mean the backups and everyone. There's a lot of people in that huddle. They break there and come out. And this time it's going to be the quarterback. It's going to be Jacob Bakken, the freshman out of Webo. Trips to the right. Varner in motion. Handed off to Varner on the fly sweep. Varner cuts up, and there's nowhere to go there. And no gain, and it looks like Rocky's just going to be content to try to run the clock off, be down 18, and get the ball first in the second half. Southern Oregon showing why they're the best team in the country, leading 28-10. Rocky scored on the possession before this one, but a big kick return led to the touchdown. Bakken will keep it and run around the right side. He's not going to get much at all. Maybe a yard is all, the youngster from Webo, and that's probably going to be the last play of the first half. Rocky will go into the locker room down 28-10, and they'll get the football first in the second half. And that is the final play of the first half. Jesse Brockschmidt's going to be down on the field, and he's going to try to catch up with head coach Brian Armstrong and see what he has to say going in at the half, down to the number one ranked team in the nation, 28-10 here at the half. The run game for Southern Oregon doing the job so far here in this one. And we have plenty of stats and recap here at the half. Go ahead.
Thanks, Tom. We're here with Coach Armstrong. Coach, talk about your offense. They've had some good drives. How do you replicate that in the second half?
Well, we got to do some damage on first down. We've had some fourth and shorts. One we got, one we didn't get. Really it's just consistency. And that's a good defense we're playing against, too. I mean, they're number one in the nation for a reason.
Absolutely. And talk about your defense. They've had some good plays, too, but they're getting gashed up the middle. What can you do scheme-wise to fix that in the second half?
Well, it's one of those deals where you commit guys to the run and then they throw the ball, and so you know what I mean? It's just frustrating. We got to tackle better in space. We got guys at home at times to make plays. We just got to make them when they're there.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck. Tom, back to you.
All right, that was head coach Brian Armstrong going in at the half, down 28-10 to number one ranked Southern Oregon University. We're going to take a 4-minute timeout and get everything kind of resettled here for you. When we come back, we'll have some stats and recap here from Herb Klint Field on the campus of Rocky Mountain College. 28-10, Southern Oregon University with the lead. We'll be back in 4 minutes.
My name's Charlie, and I've been rodeoing for about 12 years. You learn to love it, and you grow up with it all the time, and you have to get hooked on a rodeo by somebody, and that's your family. When I lost my granddad, it was pretty rough. Everybody loved him so much, and if he didn't smoke, he'd probably still be here. Athletes try to stay in the best of shape as they can, and smoking's not going to get you there.
So I decided to stand up and help the Montana rodeo that I love break away from tobacco.
My name is Carson. Rodeo has become a very big part in my life. To win a rodeo, you got to be really dedicated, so I have to stay in shape. I really like when you're getting done with a run, because sometimes you have the highs and your lows in rodeo, but when you do good, it's really a great feeling. Tobacco, in my opinion, doesn't belong in rodeo. I mean, you can look at all the statistics, and it's just been a damaging, destructive product. Tobacco doesn't take center stage, not in my rodeo.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Our physicians and athletic trainers have been building better athletes for over 20 years. We are the official sports medicine provider to the Billings Mustangs, MSUB Yellow Jackets, and Rocky Mountain College Battle Bears. AMP ensures that athletes of all ages and skill levels receive the training and medical care for top performance and to stay healthy. AMP, Athletic Medicine and Performance, powered by St. Vincent Healthcare, Ortho Montana, and Yellowstone Surgery Center.
As a driven business owner, you want to pursue your dream, not worry about administrative chores, employee benefits, and HR. With the Vetus Group, you don't have to. We'll provide the solutions you need. Everything from payroll and taxes to online marketing and IT. For each and every operational need, Avitas Group has an entire team of diverse, specialized professionals. Follow your dream. Leave the logistics to us.
Planning a stay in Billings? See what the newly renovated Billings Hotel and Convention Center can do for you. With its state-of-the-art sound system, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center is the best place in Billings to host your next meeting or conference. Ease your cares from traveling in the newly renovated rooms or relax in the hot tub while the kids enjoy both of the indoor water slides. And if you want to really enjoy the big game, experience the renovated Sports Lounge, complete with giant flat screens for your viewing pleasure. Locally owned and operated, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center is your best bet on your next stay in Billings.
For signs big or small, from banners to illuminated, Sign Pro has been your leader in signs since 1990. Sure, you know we provide high-quality displays, magnets, decals, vehicle graphics, certified installers, and more. But have you heard about our new cutting-edge techniques at Sign Pro? UV flatbed technology produces full-color brilliance that no one in the region can match, printing directly to almost any sign surface. The results are faster, higher quality, and much more cost-effective.
Sign up with Sign Pro.
A home is more than just a building. It's a refuge from the outside world, a place where families can feel safe and secure. At Stockman Bank, we enjoy helping Montanans build and own their own homes. And we treat borrowers like friends and neighbors, because they are. Treating people with respect, care, and a personal touch is the Montana way. It's the only way we know. Stockman Bank. Montana banking, pure and simple.
And welcome back to the half here at Herb Clint Field. The number 1 ranked team in the nation leads 28-10 over Rocky Mountain College here in Billings. Let's take a look at the team stats from the first half. Southern Oregon putting up 288 total yards in that first half. 209 of that is on the ground, and they're averaging a paltry 8 yards per rush in that first half. Rocky has put up 170 total yards, 62 on the ground and 108 through the air. Rocky's run 31 plays to just 41 to 41 for Southern Oregon. Penalty-wise, about even. 3 penalties for Rocky for 25 yards, 4 penalties for Southern Oregon for 25 yards. Field position-wise, Southern Oregon has about a 5-yard edge in that category. The one that really was the killer was the big kickoff return by J.J. Latou right before the half on that final drive. Instead of starting clear back in their own 25-yard line, they started in Rocky territory at the 49. And that was actually kind of killer because it took about a minute and a half, 50 seconds left on the clock. You'd figure, barring any big plays, maybe they could have kept him out of the end zone on that final drive. Taking a look at third down conversions, this is where Southern Oregon's been so good all season long. They're 7 of 11 on third and fourth downs for 64%. That's impressive. And a lot of those, I don't want to say all of them were short either. So a lot of them were long yardage to go. Rocky's only 3 of 9, 33% on third and fourth downs. Turnovers, both teams have a turnover, but neither team was able to get any points off the turnovers. And actually, oddly enough, both fumbles happened on back-to-back plays. Rocky fumbled, Southern Oregon got it, and the next play, Southern Oregon fumbled, and Rocky got it right back. Quarter points, at the end of the first, it was 7-3 Southern Oregon, so Rocky actually doing pretty well, staying close to this team from Ashland, Oregon. But then the second quarter is what really got Rocky there. Outscored 21-7 in that quarter.
Yeah, and like we talked about, Rocky doing a pretty good job against the pass. Like Terrence Williams kind of a standout for me in that secondary. But like Coach Armstrong said, you know, if you engage more guys in the run game, then you're going to start get beat deep, and it's tough. It's a tough answer. The answer basically is those guys in the middle just have to do a better job. At the end of the day, they just have to do a better job. They have to cover more space, be tougher to block. So that's where the key is for me in the second half.
All right, scoring recap. Rocky fell down 7-0. They actually ran a surprise onside kick on the very first kick of the football game. but they went 3 and out and had to punt. Actually pinned Southern Oregon back down at their own 9-yard line, and there they went on a 16-play, 91-yard drive. Ended up being a 3-yard touchdown to Adonis Griffin from Tanner Trozen. And the PAT made it 7-0. So the next possession Rocky got, they actually went on an 11-play, 70-yard drive, actually the best drive for Rocky in this entire football game. They got it down to about the 9-10-yard line and had to line up for a 35-yard Evan Connolly field goal.
35-yard field goal from the right hash for the Irishmen. Snap, hold, kick on the way, has plenty of leg, and it is good. Rocky gets on the board, 7-3, with 3.5 to go in the first.
So that was actually the end of the first quarter. 7-3 was our score. And then 3 straight possessions, Southern Oregon came away with touchdowns. They had a 5-play, 41-yard drive where Tanner Trozen ran in from 16 yards out on the quarterback draw. They had a 9-play, 92-yard drive that saw a huge touchdown run by Keegan Lawrence, 37 yards right up the middle. There was no one there. That made it 21-3. And then Cody Varner in the offense got on the field for Rocky and went 5 plays, 67 yards, down 21-3, and cut into that Southern Oregon lead like this.
All right, first and goal now, down to just outside the 5-yard line. Chase White in the gun, Cody Varner back there with him. Handed off Varner around the left side, cuts in, touchdown Bears! Cody Varner takes it in for 5 yards out, and the Bears still have life.
All right, that made it 21-10. But then the last possession of the game, or of the first half, they kicked it deep. And usually Evan Connolly, he hasn't been kicking them as deep today. He usually kicks them well out of the back of the end zone. And it doesn't look like there's any wind at all. The flags on the other side look like they're straight down. Well, J.J. Latou actually fielded it maybe a half yard inside the goal line, brings it out, and brought it all the way out to the 49-yard line of Rocky Mountain College. From there, they went on a 7-play drive and scored with 58 seconds left on a 9-yard Keegan Lawrence touchdown run, his second of the first half, and made it 28-10. So that last drive was killer. You had it within 11, and then the big return really led to that touchdown.
And Tanner Trozen is kind of the key of the game, I think. He's doing well enough in the passing game that Rocky defense still has to respect that. But then not only can he scramble really well, but he's got a couple of backs that are explosive, and his line is doing a great job opening up gaps. So great job all around for that Southern Oregon offense.
All right, Southern Oregon's individual stats. Tanner Trozen is 8 of 19 for 79 yards and 1 touchdown. That was the first touchdown of the football game to Adonis Griffin on 4th down and goal. And that's the second time in 2 games that Rocky's been scored on 4th down. Last week, Montana Western did the same thing. He also has 7 carries for 57 yards and 1 touchdown, so 136 total yards for the quarterback Tanner Trozen. He has 2 scores in that first half. Running the football, Melvin Mason has 12 carries for 69 yards, and Keegan Lawrence 6 carries for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. So 147 yards on the ground in the first half between those 2 players. Receiving the football, Jeremy Scotto has 4 catches for 46 yards. I believe 3 of them were on the opening drive.
Yep.
Adonis Griffin, just the 1 catch for 3 yards and a touchdown, and he had a big one. I think a 50-yard bomb where he was behind the secondary by 5 yards, hit him right between the 2 8s, and he dropped it. Taryn Togia, 2 catches, 18 yards in the first half, and 1 catch for 13 yards for Chase Cole, the sophomore out of Portland. So those are your individual stats for Southern Oregon here at the half. For Rocky Mountain College, Chase White is 8 of 17 for 108 yards, no touchdowns. He's also run the ball 4 times for 25 yards. Carrying the football, Cody Varner has 7 carries, 22 yards, and a score. Jade Olson just the 1 carry for 5 yards, and Frank Brown 2 carries for 9 yards. Receiving the football, Andre McCulloch just that 1 catch, but it was a big one for 31 yards. Cody Varner, 1 catch for 3 yards. 1 catch for Rod Woolfield for 26 yards. And Tyrell McGee actually leads them at the half with 5 catches for 48 yards. They're really featuring him in the offense.
And I like how McGee looks. And you couple those guys, put Andre on the left side, put McGee on the right side, and those are your 1-2 reads. And let those guys go to work. And not only do you have to, you have to get the run game going. You have to find a way. But, you're down by 18 right now. You need a quick score. You get the ball right out of the half. You need a quick score. That's why you need playmakers like Andre and McGee to get the ball.
All right, we're going to take another 4-minute timeout. We have an interview with one of our sponsors here at the half. 28-10, Southern Oregon with the lead at the half. We'll be back in about 4 minutes. And welcome back here at the half at Herb Clint Field. 28-10 is our score. Southern Oregon with the 18-point lead here at the half. Rocky actually will have the football first in the second half. And Jesse, we kind of went through the keys to the game in that pregame show, and one of them was Rocky's got to do well on first and second down. And, you know, I'd say it's about 50-50 there. You know, some of the third downs that they converted were third and long, third and 12.
Right.
But a lot of them, they're converting on fourth down instead of third, so they're one of those teams that don't mind going for it on 4th and 2 or 4th and 3.
Yeah, and for Rocky, I kind of like Brown on first and second down. Give it to Brown up the A and B gaps on first and second down, and if you're going to run it, and let him get 2 or 3 yards to give you a third and short.
Yeah, I agree with that. The lateral, you know, the only thing the lateral runs really do sometimes, I've heard Chip Kelly talk about this with Oregon and Philadelphia, is it wears down the defensive line, having to run that far, even if they tackle them for no gain. But still, it's so tough, especially against a good team like this, to be at second down and 10 or third down and 10. No turnovers. They do have the one fumble, and they were very fortunate to get another one back. But each team has a turnover, a fumble, and neither team scored off of it, so I guess you can call it 0 turnovers apiece. Limit the penalties. Rocky hasn't had a horrible day in that department. Much better than other games we've seen, that's for sure. And I think the fourth key is the one we're still going to stick with. You've got to get a ground game going, whether it's Cody Varner, Jade Olson, or Frank Brown. And like we said, instead of the lateral runs, they might just have to run straight up in that A gap. And you know what? Chase White might actually have to factor into the ground game a little bit as well.
And I think he's done that a little bit, but you might have to get him out open in space a little bit more. And, you know, it's tough. You're down 18. You say, why do you still need a running game? Just pass. Well, you got to mix it up. You got to mix it up against this defense, especially this athletic defense with these safeties who are really biting on those runs and biting on little hitch plays and stuff. So not only are you giving your quarterback a little bit more time if you threaten the run so that he can make an accurate pass in the passing game, but you're also, like you said, you're wearing down that defense. Those linemen need to get worn down, and hopefully by the end of this game you come back and you have a chance at it in the final possession.
We haven't seen Jason Baker returning kicks at all, and you know what? I don't think I've seen him on defense at all either.
I haven't.
So now Terrence Williams is back deep, the starting corner, along with Eric Buer. So two guys in the secondary. This is a short kick. Williams will field it at the 10. Trying to come back to the middle of the field, turns on the jets, cuts up the middle of the field, crosses the 20 to the 23-yard line, and that's where Rocky will start. Down 28-10 here in the third quarter.
So if you're Rocky, you need to come out, get a strong drive going, even a field goal like we kind of talked about. Get something positive, get a couple big plays if you can, but that run game has to be huge. It looks like it's Varner's going to be your starting running back for this first series. So it'd be interesting to see the play calls here the first 3 times.
Absolutely. So 1st and 10 from their own 23, Chase White, and actually go 2 running back set, Jade Olson and Cody Varner. You don't see this too often out of this offense. Varner in motion. They give it to Jade Olson up the middle. Jade to the 25. Cuts back inside out to the 29, 28-yard line. So a good pickup on first down. I like the wrinkle they threw in there.
Yeah, that's nice. And the line did a great job. Kyle Reitler, especially the freshman from Skyview here. He did a great job pushing his linemen out of the way, getting that gap, working with his other teammates here to get a nice open gap for Olson.
No Andre McCulloch on this drive either, so you wonder if that back's been hurting him. Varner will get it up the middle. Varner lowers his pads, crosses the 30 to the 31-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down by a couple of yards, but now you got a 3rd down and 2 instead of the 3rd down and 10.
You get a 3rd down and 2. You can run it. You can pass it. The defense is going to have to play both, and that opens up either option for you because they have to honor either one, and even a Chase White run.
All right, 3rd down for Rocky Mountain College, and call it along two. Varner in motion, handed off Jade Olson up the middle. Jade stays on his feet to the 35-40, out to the 45-yard line. Big gain of about 14 yards and a first down by Jade Olson.
Reitler again opening up the gap right up the middle. Olson does a great job of getting his pad level low through the line, holding onto the ball with two hands and keeping his legs moving. They tried to get around him. They couldn't do it. He opened. That's a nice explosion play on the ground.
All right, 1st and 10 from Rockies 46, down 28-10. White up the middle, Varner pumping his legs, still pumping his legs, going to get about 3 yards on 1st down. You know, really, I would love to see this, just a long, methodical drive on the ground even.
Yeah.
Get this defense tired a little bit, get some momentum back in Rocky's favor, and get down by 11 again and see what happens the rest of the football game.
And realistically, I mean, you have the time to do that. You have enough time in the second half to be able to do that, but on the other side, your defense has to get stopped. So offensively, a good run, though, so far.
All right, 2-back set again. White in the shotgun. Fake it, throw it to the flat. Woolfield will catch it across midfield to the 45-yard line and almost a 1st down. A well-designed play and a gain of about 7 yards to Rod Woolfield at a Huntley Project.
I like it. They faked it left. They threw it right. They might get a roughing the passer call here.
There is a penalty. Good eyes.
Southern Oregon. Yeah.
Yes. Nicely done there, Jesse Brockschmidt.
Good
eyes.
I'll get one every now and then. I'll get the next one wrong, though.
Wow, that's a 15-yard penalty that'll help out Rocky, roughing the passer.
That split back set, though, has kind of been whatever package they run out of it. They've got some nice plays out of it. They're going with it again. I like the adjustment. Fake the run left, pass it right. It's good stuff by the offensive lineman as well, too.
All right, 1st and 10 from Southern Oregon's 30. White's going to throw this time. Quarterback draw. Goes up the middle, makes a man miss. Gets down to the 25-yard line. A pickup of 5 yards on 1st down. And once again, they're doing the damage on the ground.
You know, and Chase White, good run. But if your Rocky coaches right there, Varner kind of leaked out of the backfield, and he was wide open. They had one guy, Southern Oregon, had one defensive back covering Varner, and I think it was Van Zee outright. So that's a play you go back to and tell your quarterback to hold in the pocket and deliver the ball to Varner.
All right, 2nd down and 5 from the 25 of Southern Oregon. Varner in motion, play action. Chase rolls to his right, fires, intercepted. Wow, that was the outside corner out there. I think that was O'Shea Dunmore that read that perfectly. They got a little too fancy, and they throw the interception down to the 13-yard line.
So Dunmore was on the outside covering the deep route and was looking over his inside shoulder, saw Chase White pull back, going for that underneath route, and then he just came. He disregarded his assignment, saw the ball, and jumped all over that route. So great play by Dunmore. You know, that's tough. If you're Chase White, you tell a guy you got to see that, but that's really tough.
1st and 10, Southern Oregon up 18. Mason right up the middle, and they take over where they left off in that first half. He gets all the way out to the 19-yard line, a pickup of 7 yards on 1st down. Sorry, that's Macklin that ended up getting that 7 yards. So the second turnover for Rocky Mountain College, and once again, you can't do that against a good football team like this. Macklin up the middle again. Macklin driving his legs out to the 21-yard line, and he's going to be short, and it'll be 3rd down and about 2 yards here from their own 21. Rocky's defense really has to get a stop now. You feel like this is the critical part of the ball game. Rocky, minus the turnovers, they're moving the football, but they can't give up much more points than this.
No.
3rd down and 2 from their own 21. Trozen in the gun. Here comes the blitz. Up the middle, Keegan Lawrence has it, and Keegan Lawrence has enough for the 1st down. He gets out to the 25-yard line, a pickup of 4 yards, and they've just been bashing the Bears right up between the guards on either side.
And that's tough because you call the run blitz, you get guys to fill gaps, but you get one guy pushed out of his gap or who doesn't fill his gap on assignment, and then you have to rely on an Eric Buer to come up from the safety spot and make a play.
On a big back.
Yeah.
Trozen rolls to his right, fires sideline. It is caught out there by number 22, and that is Bronson Ader, his first catch, and he's going to get about maybe a yard is all.
Ader, the redshirt freshman from Honolulu. We've talked about how Trozen likes to spread it around, and he doesn't necessarily key in on one guy. He's doing that right now.
So a 2-yard gain for Ader. Handed off Lawrence up the middle, this time nowhere really to go. He gets to the 30-yard line, a pickup of about 2 yards, and a big-time third down here now for Rocky Mountain College. You got him in a 3rd and long, call it a 3rd and 6. Got to get off the field here.
Yeah, and that last play, Swandle made a play in space. He was the only guy in the middle. Everybody else got pushed out, and he had to make a play, and he did. Got to do it again.
3rd down. Trozen. Quarterback draw, the big gap again, and he's going to have enough for the first down, I believe. It's going to be very, very close. He crossed the 35-yard line, and depends on the spot, actually, but it looks like a gain of 5 yards on that quarterback draw. That's just been killer.
So what's tough is that, it's 3rd and 5, and you bring the blitz. You actually brought Swandle over the top on a stunt, and that opened up the run up the middle, so it's tough.
They get the first down. Trozen, quick screen, out there to Scotto. Scotto, very good play by Jason Baker, and here comes the rest of the cavalry, and they're going to lose a yard on that one. Jason Baker, I hadn't seen him at all on kick returns or defense. He comes back and makes a big play for Rocky.
So Baker pushing his receiver back, and then actually had to turn around and grabbed the back with one arm, with his left arm, and held him up until Buer and Williams could get there to help out. So great play by Baker.
2nd and 10, trips to the right, 1 to the left for Tanner Trozen. 28-10 Southern Oregon, back to pass. Has time, going deep down the sideline, no one there. Togia was breaking off his route on a deep out route, and Trozen thought he was going deep. So incomplete, and now you got a 3rd down and 10. So another 3rd down. Best in the nation at converting on 3rd down, and they've shown us here today. They're at about a 75% clip in this football game.
When we talked about it, this is the 3rd and long that Rocky needs, and they've actually done pretty good against the pass. So this has to come through 4th and 10. Incomplete pass right
3rd
here.
and 10. Back to pass Trozen. Trozen has plenty of time. Deep over the middle. Incomplete. Boy, that hit the hands of Jesse Needles, the senior receiver out of Wallace, Idaho, and quite frankly should have been caught for a big gain of about 30 yards, and he dropped it.
I will say he might have heard Eric Buer's footsteps just kind of in front of him. I don't think Buer actually had the angle, but maybe he was close enough to make Needles think about it, and that's why he kind of got alligator arms on that pass.
All right, here is the punt. A high spiral punt, driving back Dylan Woodall back to his 16-yard line. 28-10, and a good stop by Rocky's defense.
Yeah, great stop. Rocky defense doing a good job against the run, kind of shoring it up. Swandle there made a big stop on just a trap play underneath. Even though they got burned on that one defensive line stunt for the first down, they did a good job after that. And we kind of talked about it. The run game has to shore up. The run defense has to shore up. They have to figure that out. I don't think they have yet, but they're doing such a great job against the pass for the most part, well enough to be able to give their offense another crack at this to try and get on the board in the second half.
All right, 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line for Rocky, down 28-10. They had an interception on the last drive. Woodhall in motion. Give it to Jade Olson. Jade crosses the 20, gets a gain of about 3 yards on 1st down.
Andre's back out there for this offense, so you kind of look for him. Right now they're just giving them single coverage looks, so that's something you might go to. And then also Jade Olson, and I think maybe in the next couple drives you bring back Frank Brown and run him up the middle if you're going to keep attacking the outside like this.
Jade Olson back there with him, doubles to the left, Andre to the right. They look to the sideline for the audibles. 2nd down and about 7 from their own 20 for Rocky, down 28-10 with 8 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. White in the gun. Play action. Going deep for Andre in double coverage, and he threw an easy pick. Dunmore will get the pick again. I'm sorry, that's Ward, and Ward will bring it down to the 30-yard line. Boy, that looked like a punt.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, that was Jalen Hart that settled underneath it for another interception.
Chase White was looking at Andre the entire way. The safety made he wasn't trying to be coy in his coverage. He had Andre over the top, and he was the one that made the interception. But they had him bracketed well. Not exactly sure what Chase saw there. I looked at Coach Armstrong's reaction, He didn't like the throw. It's one of those where, like, yeah, that's probably our first read, and if he's open, you go for it. But if not, you got to come off that read and look for somebody else, and he didn't.
All right, this is the backup quarterback going deep and picked off. Gallegos picks it off at the goal line and brings it out to the 22-yard line. That's Cameron Smith, I believe is his name. Yes, that threw the pick, and he had the turnover in the first half off the fumble. So he's been in for 2 plays and 2 turnovers. Thank you very much. We needed that.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, especially after that last. So back-to-back turnovers again here in the second half, just like we had in the first of the same variety. So now, if you're Chase White, you got to have a short memory. You got to have a short memory. Yeah, you kind of keyed in on that last one, and the defense took advantage. You got to have a short memory. You got to come back confident, lead this team to a touchdown.
All right, so 1st and 10 off of the Gallegos pick, and Bakken will come in at the quarterback position. Bakken will hand off. Up the middle goes Jade Olson, and he takes a big hit as he crossed the 25-yard line to the 26-yard line by Julius Rucker, but gets a gain of about 4 yards on first down.
So if you're Bakken, here's your chance. Here's your chance to come away with a great drive, feel good about your squad, your spot, and improve your standing. And this is this kind of stuff that you prepare for every week. Even if you know you're the backup quarterback, you're going to get these kind of opportunities.
Bakken, the 6'5 freshman out of Webo, he's more mobile. And they're going to roll him to the right. Fires sideline, and it hits the ground, thank goodness, or that would have been picked off by A.J. Cooper. And right now, this secondary for Southern Oregon smelling blood in the water. And Bakken very lucky that one wasn't intercepted as well.
Cooper did a great job of reading the route and then seeing the quarterback roll out and seeing the angle that he had. Should have probably had the interception there as Bakken was going for Wolfville and his comeback route on the right sideline.
7 minutes to play in the third quarter, 28-10 Southern Oregon. Bakken, draw. Jade Olson's going nowhere. Coming on the blitz there was number 31, Miles Blake, and he's going to lose 2 yards, and now you got 4th down off the delayed draw to Jade Olson.
And if it wasn't going to be Miles Blake, it was going to be Armando Gauger coming off on the line. You know, great defensive stand there. If you're Southern Oregon, your quarterback just kind of threw an interception. You had to go right back out. But an easy and quick, what seemed like an easy and quick 3-and-out defensive stand for Southern Oregon.
Yeah, they just can't get going, can they, here today? Here's the punt by Benson. Whoa, look at that punt. Drove Latou back to his 32-yard line, but Latou's got a head of steam, crosses the 40, gets to midfield, and Tyrell McGee will wrestle him down right at the 49, almost exactly the same place his big kick return was brought back to.
Yeah, big time tackle by McGee, and that's when you have a chance to outkick your coverage. I think that's kind of what happened, is that kick was quite a bit farther back, but it was low. It didn't have much hang time, so the defense couldn't get set, couldn't get downfield and close up some of the gaps. And so now you have the ball on the Rocky side of the field already.
All right, so they get the interception by Gallegos and go 3-and-out. And now they give it back to Southern Oregon at their own 49. Macklin comes around the right side. Macklin, good job by Rocky's defense coming up. And, boy, Gallegos came up and hit him hard, and Gallegos is shaking himself up. He's hitting people so hard.
Yeah, Gallegos has had kind of a rough day on that left shoulder. It looks like he's hurt a little bit still as he's kind of kneeling down.
Yeah, and the backup safety will come in for him, the young man out of Polson, Jared Gallatin. And it's 2nd down and 7. Trozen this time in the pistol. Macklin offset to his right. Give it to Macklin up the middle and has a huge hole. Gets around Kesson, gets around Buer, and crosses the 35-yard line. Gets a pickup of 12 yards and a first down for the young man, Lewis Macklin, the sophomore out of Elk Grove, California.
And something Coach Armstrong talked about right after halftime when we talked to him. He said, we have to tackle better. And right there, we missed 2 tackles. I think it was Buer and Kesson both. And that turned in from a 3-yard gain to a 10-yard gain.
All right, 1st and 10. Quarterback draw. Trozen getting around the outside. Gets a big block and gets deep into Rocky territory down to the 18-yard line. A pickup of 15 yards on first down. And this run game is just having its way with Rocky on this drive. 23 yards all on the ground just on this drive.
If you're the Raiders play caller, you cannot call a wrong play right now for this offense. They just say everything's working for them.
I'm sorry, 31 yards rushing on this drive. 1st and 10 from Rocky's 18, Trozen. Handed off Macklin up the middle. Macklin going nowhere this time. Rocky did a nice job. Brendan Johnson's in there. Austin Chamberlain's in there. And the young man, number 44, Chase Bertelson, the freshman out of Webo.
Yeah, Bertelson was the first one to kind of make contact and hold him up. Swandle made a hit. Johnson made a hit. Chamberlain got in there and finished it off. So good job by those 3 linemen and their linebacker.
Mason comes in at the running back position. 2nd and 9. Handed off Melvin Mason, coming around the outside, patiently waiting for his blocks and crosses the 10 and has enough for the first down as he gets down to the 9-yard line. A pickup of 8 yards for Melvin Mason. And you know something, I think I'm premature. He might be a half yard short. He was right on the sideline there at the sticks, and it depended on where the officials spotted it. It's going to be 3rd and 1. All right, 3rd down and 1. At the 9-yard line of Rocky, 28-10, still our score, Southern Oregon. Rocky needs a stop. 4 wide receiver set. Mason, the tailback, back with Trozen. Snap, and Trozen will keep it. He gets around Chamberlain, and he scoots in for the touchdown. Read option. Austin Chamberlain was there, could not make the play, and Trozen takes it in for a 9-yard score.
Good read by Trozen, and that's the tremendous amount of pressure on those defensive ends. You've been getting gashed up the middle all game long, and that's where the fake went. And you read if you're Trozen, you read that defensive end. If the defensive end steps in, you bring the ball back out. If the defensive end stays, then you hand the ball off. Right that time, Chamberlain came in. Trozen comes onto the outside just quick enough beyond his reach and gets a touchdown.
6-play, 49-yard drive. And the PAT is good. 35-10, 4:08 to play here in the 3rd. We'll be back in 30 seconds. All right, 35-10 now our score, and Southern Oregon on the ground, 276 yards in this football game already on the ground, 357 total, 212 for Rocky Mountain College, but the 3 turnovers are the big thing, and that time they take bad punt coverage off a good punt by Caleb Benson, and once again a short field results into a touchdown. That's 2 big returns by J.J. Latou that has led to a touchdown.
And you kind of talked about it at the half. Usually Evan kind of Connolly kicks those ones out of bounds, kicks those ones out of the end zone, and he hasn't been doing that.
All right, here's the kick. Buer at his own 2. Buer come back to the middle of the field, bounces off his own man, gets out to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and Eric Buer gets all the way out to about the 45-yard line, but we do have a flag on the field.
And you're going to get holding. It was a little bit ahead of Buer. You're going to get holding in the middle of the field. This is kind of typical where in this part of the game, if you're Rocky, you try to get guys to do a little bit more than what you're asking them. And they try to make a play. They see their teammate about to bust to the outside, so they got to hold on to somebody. So it's tough. Buer made a great play, breaking a tackle, and then juking out to the outside. But teammates just held on, trying to do a little bit, trying to help out their teammate, and got called for it.
And I didn't see what they called, but that was actually a 15-yard penalty, so it had to be more than holding. So starting at their 29-yard line. 1st and 10, White. Hands off Frank Brown up the middle. The big back drags people out to the 34-yard line, a pickup of 5 yards. And I think you're right. Frank Brown might be the running back for this particular ball game that they need to stick with. just keep doing that. Get your 5 yards at a chunk each time. We've had interceptions and fumbles, 3 turnovers in total for Rocky that's led to touchdowns for Southern Oregon, and now you're down 35-10. Not over yet. You're down 25 with a full quarter yet to go. Brown up the middle, and Brown with his big body gets out to the 38-yard line. Another pickup of 4 yards. It'd be 3rd down and 1.
Chase White back in the game, and this is a good opportunity. You know, if you feel comfortable on a 3rd and 1, to give him an easy outside route, but otherwise, I mean, Frank Brown's just doing a great job inside and just keep on busting it inside.
3rd and 1. Frank Brown still the running back, 4 receivers set. Give it to Brown up the middle. Brown tries to jump over the 1st down, and it depends on where the spot is. And who knows with spots sometimes. The headline judge here is saying 4th down. And they're going to say no gain for Frank Brown. And now you got to go for it, don't you? Nope, they're bringing on the punt team. I almost think you got to go for it here.
Yeah, it's easy. I would say so.
You're
but
down
it's easy.
25.
Yeah, it's easy for me to say with, who knows what's going down in the sideline and with these players right now. But, yeah, that would seem like a situation that you go for it down 25 here in the 3rd.
4th down and about a half yard. Caleb Benson on to punt. J.J. Latou back deep. Here's the snap. Benson a high hanger this time. Latou fair catches this one and catches it at the 26-yard line. Down 35-10. Rocky will go back on defense.
So right now, if you were that defense on the end, you didn't get much time to get any rest. So advantage Southern Oregon, and hopefully I'm sure you talked about those runs to the outside. They actually kind of were doing pretty good in the latter half of that drive, stopping a few of those runs in the A and B gaps. But then those runs to the outside, I think this defense is getting tired because, like you said, those runs to the outside, those wear a defensive line and those linebackers down. And last series, Southern Oregon could not call a bad play. And so here we go again.
Trozen hands it off. Keegan Lawrence up the middle, and Keegan gets out to the 30-yard line, maybe the 31, a gain of about 5 yards on 1st down. And Keegan Lawrence now with 90 rush yards in this football game. And that's pretty impressive considering he hasn't touched it near as much as Melvin Mason, who has 77 yards. Up the middle, Lawrence again. He gets across the 35 to the 36-yard line, another gain of 5 yards. And it's a 1st down. So they're just doing this right up the middle like we've been saying. That's the A-gap right up the middle. The guys on the far side over there, number 75 is the left guard. And I'm trying to, left guard is number 75, Connor Astley, the junior out of Salem. They're running right behind him. And then the center, number 54, Jose Sanchez, doing a nice job as well. Up the middle, Keegan Lawrence again. This time Jelinek gives him a good pop at the 37-yard line. A gain of maybe a yard is all. And makes it a 2nd and 9. Cole Jelinek, the linebacker out of Denton, Montana. He's a junior. Most of these front 7 are going to be back next year. I see Deshaun McDaniel down there. He's a senior. Will Peppard, the inside linebacker, is a senior, and so is Jordan Kesson. But the young Bertelsen kid from Webo is in there at middle linebacker now. 2nd and 8 from their own 38, up 35-10. Trozen's going to throw. Throws sideline. It is caught by Ader, and Ader's going to get tackled down at the 42-yard line. And that's Bronson Ader, the redshirt freshman out of Hawaii.
Southern Oregon mixing it up a little bit. They've been gashing this defense on the run, but here not even a fake, just a pullback and a nice route run and a good throw and catch by Southern Oregon offense.
Rain starting to come down just a little bit right now. Under a minute to go, 35-10 here in the 3rd. Trozen, play action. He's going to keep it and run around the outside. Turns on the Jets. Actually tripped over the 50-yard line and got down to the 47. A gain of 8 yards and a 1st down.
Yeah, and Billy
so even a broken play is working for him.
And Billy Williams had him dead to rights. I mean, he was right there, but Tesson did a great job of juking him out and getting around. And, yeah, you're right. It would have been probably 10, 15 more yards if he doesn't trip over the 50.
30 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. 35-10 Southern Oregon. Rocky, one more quarter to go here. Trozen's going to throw, has plenty of time, going deep, looking for Adonis Griffin. Griffin can't catch up to it, and it's incomplete.
And Griffin had a couple steps on the coverage. I think it was Fulton out there. But Griffin had the steps. The pass wasn't perfect like it needed to be. And Griffin, we've talked. You kind of talked about it. Griffin was probably their feature receiver, even though they like to spread the ball out. And so got to try him downfield.
1st and 10 from Rocky's 47 with 21 seconds to go here in the third. 35-10 is our score. Southern Oregon in complete control. Macklin will try to get around the outside, looking for blockers, and takes a big hit from Seth Swandle, and a nice job by Eric Buer on the edge as well.
Yeah, Buer came out, kind of forced him back inside. Swandle with a lot of hustle coming on for the other side of the field to make that big hit and give him a third down.
That's the end of the third quarter of play. Rocky down 25 here going into the last quarter here at home against Southern Oregon. And we'll be back in 30 seconds to bring you the final quarter here on FM 99 The Mountain, MontanaSportscast.com, and KVRM here in Billings. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to Rocky Mountain College. 35-10 our score. Southern Oregon with the lead and the ball at Rocky's 46-yard line. And I was going to try to look at a few of the scores from around the Frontier Conference. Montana Tech leading at Eastern Oregon 22-7, just about the end of the first half. So it looks like Tech on its way again to another victory. They're tied at the top of this Frontier Conference with Southern Oregon, and they got the big showdown over in Ashland, Oregon next weekend as Tech has to travel all the way out to Oregon. All right, Trozen floats it out to Macklin. Macklin on the sideline sidesteps a few Rocky defenders and is not going to get very much. Maybe a yard is all on the little swing pass from Tanner Trozen, but the defense doing a nice job there corralling him. And now you got a 3rd down and 9.
Great pursuit there from the defense. Kesson was the first one to kind of make penetration and get him to slow down a little bit. And then the rest, pretty much like everybody for the Rocky defense, was over there pursuing the ball. So good effort here by this defense.
3rd and 9 from Rocky's 46-yard line. 35-10 Southern Oregon. Trozen back to pass. Has time, fires sideline. Caught. Adonis Griffin at the 35-yard line has enough for a 1st down, as he gets a gain of about 12 yards on 3rd and 9.
Adonis Griffin is a big guy. He's 6'4", 225-pound senior out of Sacramento, California, and he's got good agile feet, and it's tough for those tiny D-backs to kind of bring him down, and you saw a couple extra yards as he was just holding on for dear life.
All right, so once again, the best team in the nation on 3rd down converts again. Advance the ball to Rocky's 33. Hand it off. Macklin up the middle. Tries to spin out, and he's going backwards, and Rocky's defense corrals him at the 41-yard line. A loss of 8 yards for Macklin.
I think these Southern Oregon running backs kind of smell blood in the water with this defense, and they're trying to do a little too much. Instead of being patient, instead of waiting in for gaps to open up, they'll bounce out to the outside a little bit quicker than they need to, where the defense is already swarming. And so probably see a little bit less of that. Just probably if they're more patient, they'll get those gaps that they've had.
So now you got a 2nd down and 17 from back at the 41. Trozen going to throw this time. 4 receiver set, looking over the middle. It's caught, and right up the middle goes Melvin Mason. Look at him go all the way down to the 20-yard line, 21-yard line. Gain of 19 yards and a 1st down.
That was like just a little halfback dump as Melvin, good catch and run afterwards. I think this defense is tired now. They've been hustling hard to the outside, trying to pursue the ball like the coaches ask them to, and now you got a speedy running back running through the middle of the field. It's tough to bring him down.
Well, here in a second, I'll show you the drives for Rocky in the second half so far, and it hasn't been impressive. You're talking 3 and out, 4 and out. You can't do that and give the best team in the nation this much time in the second half. Already up 35-10. Trozen back to pass, looking, no one open, now rolls to his right, tries to get outside, and a good job by Jordan Kesson staying home and limiting to the quarterback to just a 1-yard gain.
And they've sent all 4 receivers deep. They were looking for a touchdown strike right there to kind of put the nail on the head of this. But good job by the secondary, and the secondary for Rocky has been really good. Galgos has been hitting hard in the backfield. Buer's kind of come on late. Terrence Williams, although he's not out there right now, he's done a great job covering. So the secondary has done a good job.
Second down and 9. Carroll up 28-0 over MSU Northern at home. Western up 13-7 on the road at College of Idaho. Macklin, a huge gain around the outside, and he's going to go in. 20-yard touchdown run for Lewis Macklin, and that's the nail in the coffin.
And nothing much there, just a simple off-tackle run for Macklin as he kind of came around side. The left defensive end, I think it was Otuafi, kind of brought his guy way outside like he was rushing the quarterback, didn't have that gap containment, and Macklin took advantage. It was the easy scamper to the end zone.
Another big, long drive for this Southern Oregon offense. 13-play drive, 74 yards. Macklin takes it in from 20 yards out, and here's the extra point attempt. Snap, hold, Montano is up and good. 42-10. The defending champs up here at Herb Clint Field. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Thirteen-play drive, covered 74 yards, just about 5 minutes off the clock, Jesse, and all the keys in the game we talked about with Rocky, pretty much all of them across the board, Rocky's not been able to do, whether it be first downs, getting off the field on third downs. It's just been a deflating day for the Battling Bears.
And you kind of talked about it at halftime, that first and second down defensively for Rocky, you have to limit those runs. And I don't think there's been maybe but a handful of runs that have either got no gain or negative gain for the Southern Oregon offense. And when you're talking about a coach can call any play, especially any running play, whether it's off tackle, A gaps, B gaps, a screen to the outside, a sweep to the outside, and everything works. That's a whole other different story. And right now that's what Southern Oregon's doing.
All right, here's the kick. And it's going towards the sideline. Dylan Woodall actually catches it and slips and falls at the 10-yard line. That's the way it's going right now for Rocky. So they're going to start at their own 10-yard line with 12:09 to play in the game, down 42-10.
And you'd like to see just a little bit of momentum build here for Rocky in this offense. You get Carroll next week. You got to start preparing. Try to build a little bit of confidence for these guys, get a score under their belt here in the second half, and then try to make it a repeat on the next possession that you have. But you need something positive here as Frank Brown's in at tailback.
First and 10 for Rocky, down 42-10, back at their own 10-yard line. Chase White in the gun. 2 receivers to either side. He's going to throw, pump fakes, and looking, and nowhere to go. He's going to get sacked way back at the 2-yard line by number 40, Joseph Leole.
And White was looking at Andre. He kind of came off of him, tried to go back, but they had double coverage, tight double coverage on Andre. They're not going to let him break out in this game. And Carson White having trouble, Chase White, having trouble reading his routes, going from the hot route over to the next one. So,
all right, so 2nd and 18 from their own 2 in the end zone. Chase over the middle. Andre can't bring it in. Incomplete. And just like that, it's 3rd and 18 back at your own 2.
Yeah, and I think you're starting to see some frustration build up in this Rocky offense. As the pass wasn't completely on target, but you got to help out your quarterback in this type of situation when he's struggling with his confidence. And and you're down by 32 points here deep in your own end zone.
11:26 to play in the game. 3rd and 18 from their own 2. Chase White gonna pass. Throws over the middle off Varner's hands and incomplete. Boy, he threw a fastball at Varner, who was about 5 yards away. And just like that, another 3 and out, and they're going to punt again.
Yeah, just a few seconds off the clock. Varner was open there. Everybody else went deep. Varner was the underneath route. A design play to get Varner the ball in open field, and like you said, White just gunned it like it was a 9-yard slant, and he was only about 5 yards away from him. The ball went off his fingertips, and just that's the way this offense has kind of gone today, and that was the day in a microcosm right there.
3-play drive again, lost 8 yards. Here's the punt. J.J. Latou at his own 45, or at Rocky's 45, going to try to get around the outside. Oh, there's a block in the back, and flags everywhere. Latou gets all the way down to the 30-yard line, but there must be 4 flags on the field. Everybody saw that one.
Yeah, and that was McGee, had outside containment. It looked like it was going to be kind of a tough angle for him, but he did a good enough job. He did his job on that coverage, and I think it was Jalen Hart, the safety, that kind of gave him a nice shove in the back, and that was an automatic flag.
All right, so 42-10, again our score. Rocky's been dominated in this one. Actually, the end of the first quarter was 7-3. The second quarter, is where Southern Oregon really distanced themselves, putting up 3 touchdowns, and the one right before the half was the killer. That made it 28-10.
Yeah, and you're talking about that, and not only was the run back in the coverage for the kickoff, that was big, but I mean you just got gashed down the middle, and that was a big. I think it was like a 12-yard run in for the touchdown at the end there that kind of brought him back, and it's tough. That's a backbreaker for a Rocky team.
Cameron Smith, the quarterback, hands it off Macklin. Macklin had the big touchdown run last time. This time, Jason Baker hits him out of bounds and actually loses his helmet in the process. But Baker gave Macklin a pretty good shot.
That's good thing about being on defense. If you're a frustrated defensive guy, then you can kind of take out some of that frustration on the other team, and Baker certainly did that with a big hit, kind of pushing his back out of bounds.
Since that first quarter, Rocky's been outscored 35-0. It was 35-7, I'm sorry. It was 7-3 at the end of one. Smith in the shotgun, handed off Macklin up the middle. Macklin nowhere really to go. Gets out to the 45-yard line, a gain of 2. For Macklin now, 38 yards on the ground. Had the big 20-yard touchdown the last time Southern Oregon touched the football. And I think you're right. Rocky, obviously he's not going to come back from this one, but you got to build here. You got Senior Day next Saturday against Carroll, and Carroll is extremely beatable this year. You have a chance of getting that rivalry game in your favor as Smith over the middle throws behind the wide receiver going across the middle, Matt Retzlaff, and that'll be incomplete and 4th down.
And that's the thing, too, is that, you can talk about, especially as a coach, you can talk about, we kind of got beat off the ball the entire game, but you guys did a good enough job. You're strong enough, you're mentally tough enough that at the end of the game, you kept your pride in each other, you worked hard for your teammate, and you made some special things happen at the end of the game. You can carry that on to next week.
All right, here's the punt, rollout punt. Drives Woodall all the way back. What a punt that is. That's going to settle down at Rocky's 3-yard line. What a punt that was by number 98. Boy, he's pumped up, Thomas Giddens.
Well, and I think Southern Oregon's going to get personal fouls. They threw Terrence Williams kind of out of bounds. I didn't see who it was exactly, but that ball's going to come back out 15 yards, I think.
Giddens, that punted that football, actually started his career at Louisiana Monroe. So he's from Monroe, Louisiana. So how he ended up at Southern Oregon, boy, that's a half a world away.
That's a long ways away.
From Monroe, Louisiana. Is Monroe the Raging Cajuns?
I think you're right. Or no, that's Lafayette.
That's Lafayette, yeah. Still, Louisiana, Oregon, not exactly in the same neighborhood. So, yeah, there was a personal foul there on Southern Oregon. And this is where you kind of have to be careful because the chippiness can lead to some things like that by both squads here. 42-10 our score with 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Jacob Bakken's going to check in at the quarterback position, so you'd think Chase White's day may be done. Bakken hands off Cody Varner. Varner tried to get around the outside, and Joseph Lealofi, there we go, catches him for a loss of about, well, it goes all the way back to the 15-yard line, a loss of 4 for Cody Varner, and it hasn't been a good day for the running backs for Rocky Mountain College against this defense. Bakken in the gun. Varner offset to his left. Bakken fires out and almost picked off. McGee somehow catches it and gets out to the 21-yard line, picks up 6 yards, maybe 7. It should have been picked off. And credit McGee for wrestling it away from the defensive back and catching it for a gain of 7.
And these D-backs are aggressive. They try to read these routes, and it was just a hitch route by McGee, and A.J. Cooper covering them, the redshirt freshman out of Las Vegas, saw the route, saw the eyes of the quarterback, tried to jump on it, probably should have had it, but McGee doing a great job of battling for his quarterback.
Bakken this time will go 5-receiver set on 3rd and 7. Back to pass, looking, here's the pressure. He gets out of it somehow, but the freshman now is going to get out to the 20 and go down, as a whole host of Raiders were there for the sack and a loss of 2 yards, and Rocky will have another 3 and out.
And that's what's tough. You're talking about a freshman quarterback going in. Yeah, he's a talented guy, but he feels pressure a lot quicker than a seasoned veteran does, and you're asking him to kind of get you a first down on 3rd and long after your running plays just go nowhere. And that's where the running game has to come into play. You have to get at least 3 or 4 yards on most of your runs in order to set up your quarterback for a successful 3rd down conversion.
All right, Caleb Benson back on to punt again. 8 minutes to play in the game, 42-10 Southern Oregon. Here's the punt. Low line drive. Latu will field it at his 40. Sets up his blocks, and there he goes again. Latu gets all the way down to the 41 of Rocky, and what a good returner he is.
And he just does a great job. Number one, he's sure with the ball. When he does go through a couple guys, he covers it up. But he's so small, compact, and he hits as soon as he catches it, he's off like a lightning bolt. He's quick, and then he keeps his head up. He's got good vision through the tackle, and he just finds the right hole, finds the right gaps, and his coverage team does a good job blocking for him as well.
Cameron Smith still the quarterback here for Southern Oregon. Lewis Macklin, the running back, 4 wide receiver set. Smith in the gun, Macklin offset to his right, going to throws the screen in the middle of the field, and that's incomplete. They tried to get it to Matt Retzlaff and the wide receiver middle screen, and that falls incomplete.
And you can see the vision of this Southern Oregon offense. They got a lot of little tricky plays that, don't expose too much. They're not that risky. They're kind of fancy, and they kind of confuse the defense and make you think. So that just adds to their repertoire.
Ooh, big word.
Thank you.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Here's a pass out in the flat. It's caught, and Buer wrestles the tight end out of bounds. That's the first time we've seen the tight end, number 89, Ben Bachman, the sophomore, and that's a gain of about 3 yards.
We've talked about Buer a little bit. The old man for this defense, he does a great job of tackling and wrapping guys up. For how small he is, he had to take on a much bigger tight end, and he's doing a good job out there.
3rd and 7 here for the Raiders of Southern Oregon, leading 42-10. They're at Rocky's 38-yard line. Smith back to pass. Floats it out to Macklin. Macklin nowhere really to go and gets wrestled out of bounds at the 38-yard line by Billy Williams. And that'll be a gain of no gain, actually, as Smith found Macklin out of the backfield. And they're going to bring on the punter here. The punter really hasn't been busy until you can tell what the coaches of Southern Oregon are doing. They're just trying to run this game out, get back on the plane, go back to Ashland, and get ready for Montana Tech next week. 7:05 to play in the game. Here is the punt. And Woodall will fair catch it at his own 10. And, boy, very lucky that he secured that. He actually ran into the back of Taylor Schwartz on the near side, and that'll be at the 11-yard line.
And we take a little time, talk about a great game next week for the Southern Oregon team against a great Montana Tech team. If you get these two guys matched up, over in Ashland. That's a big-time game. That'll be an interesting one to see how it comes out. You know, Rocky has their own game against the senior game against Carroll. That's a big-time game, and this is where we kind of talked about this offense got to get moving. Let's see, at least get one first down. Go for one first down, and then go from there.
I think you almost have to run it now and see what you can do on the ground, but they're going to let Bakken throw, and he got blasted, and the ball rolls in the end zone, and that's a touchdown. As number 56 will get the touchdown, Armando Gauger, and they're really pouring it on now. Bakken had to get that out quick, didn't see the blitz coming. Got hit hard on the blind side. The fumble came out, and a touchdown for Southern Oregon.
You know, I think that has to be a miscommunication between the quarterback, freshman quarterback, and his offensive line. Everybody, all the offensive line shifted left, and if Bakken does have to get rid of that a lot quicker, then he definitely didn't know, because he was looking left. Armando was coming from his right and just completely took a huge hit on him. Hopefully Bakken's okay. He came off on his own power as the extra point here is up and good, but you know, that's tough. You put a freshman quarterback, like we said, in a position where he's probably not going to be successful, and that's what happens.
49-10. Number 1 is pouring it on here in Billings. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to Herb Clinton Field. Rough day for the Battling Bears, down 49-10 now to a team that's really proving why they're the number 1 team in the nation. They're just good all the way around, Jesse. I'm impressed with them. I thought Rocky may have had a chance with this team because we looked at the comparisons between Carroll and the Montana Western games, and Rocky played right with them, but boy, Southern Oregon's come in here and forced 3 turnovers, and really Rocky's defense has not been able to stop them at all. Well, now that they've brought in their second unit they have, but when the ones were in there, they sure couldn't. 49-10 our score. Buer's going to catch this at his own 8-yard line. Eric Buer setting up his blocks, gets through the first wave, gets to the 30, still on his feet out to the 34-yard line. A good return by the senior Eric Buer.
You know, and it's easy for us to say up here, but I think these teams are on polar opposite ends of the mental spectrum as far as their confidence and their motivation. And not to say that Rocky, you know, is kind of lustful and just kind of going through the motions. They're not. They've played hard today, but I just don't think the confidence is there. They haven't. After that last game, you can only take so many brutal losses, those close losses in a season, until one of these things happens.
Yeah, it's a psyche thing right now. Varner will get it around the outside. Good blocking on the edge. He gets out to the 41-yard line and pick up a 7 yards. So looking ahead, Rocky has Carroll at home for senior day next week, and then they wrap up this 2015 season up in Havre against the winless MSU Northern Lights. So Rocky's going to continue to be towards the bottom of the frontier as Bakken will keep it on the read option, get maybe a yard and set up a 3rd down and short. And Southern Oregon, like we said, has Montana Tech next week, and then I think they wrap up maybe against Eastern Oregon. Yeah, they're at Eastern Oregon, so they're not out of the woods yet. They still have 2 tough games on their schedule. 3rd down and 1 for Rocky. Bakken picked up 1 yard, handed off Varner around the left edge. Varner lowers his pads and gets to the 44-yard line. Looks like enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, Varner doing a good job, still running hard. You got to give a lot of credit to these kids who still come out here and running hard. This offensive line doing the absolute best that they can. And they've had some really good drives in this game. They just, you know, can't top it off, and they can't be consistent with it.
Varno will get it around the outside edge, and he gets drugged down from behind by the young man that scored the touchdown, Armando Gauger. And he's going to lose 3 yards. Carroll up 42-0 in the 3rd quarter. I think they are a little upset about how that game went against Tech last week. They're really putting it on the winless Knights. So now you got a 2nd down and 13 for Rocky. Play action. Bakken rolls to his left, looking. Now he's going to tuck and run. Gets to about midfield before he's bumped out of bounds. Picks up 9 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
And moving forward in this week in practice, you try to get Chase White some confidence. If it's going to be Bakken moving forward, then you get him to read. But, I think Chase White did a pretty good job. He was tough against this defense. He was tough without, having the running game, and that's what you're seeing.
Well, they're a very good defense.
Yeah.
Bakken play action, looking, nowhere to go, and he's going to get sacked all the way back to the 43-yard line. A loss of 6 yards. So here comes the punt team for Rocky Mountain College. 4:35 to go, 49-10. Southern Oregon with the big lead. J.J. Latou still back there returning punts. And just a rough season for Rocky. Like you said, the close losses, and they were blown out at home by Western. They were blown out at home by, here today by Southern Oregon. Really have been playing pretty well on the road. Latou at his own 15. Tries to get up the middle of the field and does. Here comes the electrical young man to the 40. 45-50 has one man to beat, and he can't. As Dylan Johnston, the senior guard, brings him down at the 40-yard line of Rocky Mountain College.
And I think it's just a testament to this conference, to the Frontier Conference, that you could have. I think if you polled the coaches and asked them just blindly, it was like, is Rocky Mountain College the second worst team in the Frontier Conference? I don't think you'd get any votes for that, even though the record is kind of right there right now. But Rocky has played their opponents really, really well. They haven't been able, like we said, those close games didn't go their way. And then you get a couple of games like this that just look really, really bad on a defeated team, especially mentally right now, I think. And that you come up with this result. But it's a very talented team, very well-coached team.
Up the middle goes Macklin. Macklin squirts through. Nobody tackles him. Nobody touches him. And once again, there's another big touchdown run. 39 yards for Lewis Macklin. He was in the middle of the scrum. I don't know what happened there, but nobody brought him down. He takes it for the 39-yard touchdown run, and now it's 55-10. So the wheels have completely fallen off of Rocky now. 3:49. I don't know what else to say, but it's been a rough day for Rocky.
Yeah, one of those days, and I think if you're a football player, if you're an athlete, everybody has one of these days, and it's just one. The clock doesn't move fast enough in these games.
Up and good, 3:49. The kick was good by Montano, 56-10. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And welcome back. A one-play drive, 39-yard touchdown run by Lewis Mason. And what is that, 28 points here in the fourth quarter now? 28 points. And a lot of big runs right up the middle this entire football game. So Rocky getting their lumps here today. 56-10 is our score. And Terrence Williams and Eric Buer are back deep for Rocky. This one's going to actually go out of bounds, so there'll be a penalty there. Ball will come out to, the 40-yard line? And Rocky will take over there, 3:49 to go. The freshman quarterback's been in the last few series, Jacob Bakken. You can tell his mobility, I think, is better than White, but definitely the arm edge goes to Chase White.
Yeah, the arm isn't there. Also, reading the routes, reading the play out, and then obviously there's some miscommunication with his offensive line kind of a couple series ago. But he's got a lot to learn. I think Chase, give him a good week of practice. I think he'll be right back at it against a Carroll team that he knows he's had success against before. He knows he can do it again. hopefully if you're Rocky, you kind of keep that in the back of your mind as you move through practice this week.
All right, here we go. 3:49 to go. 56-10. Southern Oregon's came in and actually thumped Rocky around. As Bakken will keep it up the middle. There's nowhere to go there on the read option. He's going to actually lose a yard. A whole host of Southern Oregon players in there for that one. So Southern Oregon's going to go to 7-1. We'll go back and take a look at Montana Tech in Eastern Oregon. That score right now, 22-10 at the end of the third quarter. Montana Tech with the lead there. So it looks like if they hang on to win that one, that the two 7-1 teams at the top of the Frontier Conference will be playing in Ashland, Oregon next week. Van Zee will get it on the fly sweep. Van Zee gets out the 40-yard line. So they pick up a 6 yards for Jace Van Zee. He's been very, very quiet in this football game here today. So 3rd down and 5 for Rocky Mountain College. Once again, they close out their home schedule next week against Carroll. That'll be on FM 99 The Mountain. Whether it's going to be on the radio or on the internet remains to be seen. Van Zee will get it on the fly sweep again, and Van Zee maybe a yard, and that's it on that one. Then it also will be on SWX and will be on KVRM here at Rocky and also on mtsportscast.com.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that game. I know this one didn't turn out like we kind of hoped that it would, and but that game is against those two have a history. Carroll and Rocky, they have a history. They have a history of good games as well, and so you get Carroll coming into town here. Hopefully, you hit the reset button after today, and you get a good game there.
Benson's punt. Latu still returning kicks. He catches it at the 25 on the run and gets blasted down by the long snapper. And that is number 49 out there, Robert Pritchett out of Wasilla, Alaska.
And Pritchett doing a good job. It helps when you kind of kick it towards the sideline and then you're able to form kind of a wall and kind of force him back into the sideline. If he does cut back up midfield, you got guys like Pritchett there to kind of take care of that.
Ball at the 35-yard line, 1:51 to play. Barring any long touchdown runs, which we've seen a lot here today, they're probably going to run this one out as the third-string quarterback comes in, Jack Singler. Whenever you see the third string, and Macklin almost broke that one. He gets a 6-yard gain and almost was off to the races. But anytime you see the third-string quarterback, it's bad for one of the two teams. It either means you got the first two guys hurt and you're behind big, or you're up big.
Yeah. And you got to give credit, Macklin especially. These guys have great field vision and ball carrier vision as they come through the line. If they're shooting for the A gap and it's closed up, they're looking for the right next gap, the quickest one and easiest access, and they do a great job of that.
They're bleeding off every second they can here, up 56-10. I want to just get on that flight home back to Ashland, Oregon, and get ready for the Orediggers next week. Macklin up the middle. Macklin actually fumbles it and gets it back and gets a gain of about 2 yards. He has 85 yards on the ground here today. 96 yards for Melvin Mason, 97 for Keegan Lawrence. So 3 backs that are very, very close to 100 yards rushing apiece.
And then you got the quarterback, Chesson, who did a very good job on the ground as well when he did have to scramble.
And he has 213 combined yards in this game as well. So 500 yards between 4 guys.
Yeah.
Trips to the right, 1 to the left, 3rd down and 1 for Southern Oregon, who's going to remain at number 1, you would think, as the quarterback keeps it. Jack Singler, and he's going to lose a yard on the read option. And that's going to be the final play of the ball game. Rocky was only down 7-3 at the end of the first quarter, but since then, Southern Oregon has put their stamp on this one, winning 56-10 over Rocky Mountain College. We're going to take a 4-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll do stats and recap here from a pretty vacant Herb Clint Field at the end of this one. 56-10. We'll be back in 4 minutes.